All right. Welcome everybody to another edition of the Third Banner Pod. The Cards get a big win today, shutting out Duke in a battle of top 20 teams on the gridiron. Tonight to recap the game and give our thoughts, you got myself, Ash, you got Kyle, you got Ross, and making his return to the Third Banner Pod is Connor, sporting his UT gear while they're beating Kentucky, baby. What's up, guys?
Oh man, I try to tell y'all, if I'm not nervous, and I'm a nervous guy when we usually play, and for good reason this year for most. If I'm not nervous, can we even lose? Can we lose if I'm not nervous? That's all I want to know right now, because I didn't break a sweat. I woke up with my wife this morning. She was ready for me to start talking about all the dreadful things I was worried about for the game, and I said, "Baby, you look good." I said, "You look great." She said, "Isn't there a game today?" And I said, "I ain't worried about it. Not even a little bit." Couch House, Ray, welcome, welcome. We'll let people file on in. But, yep, never doubt my mind. Now, did I expect a shutout? Nah, can't say that. Ron English, you're the man tonight. You have the key to the city.
So I was definitely working the entire game. I had the tickets in front of me that I had to pass out. I had my iPad to the right, and I was watching the game on my iPad the entire time. It was beautiful.
Yeah, man. I listen. My camera's off. I know. Hopefully, y'all can hear me all right. I'm driving up to Cincinnati right now. But man, what a great game that was. It was so much fun, and I tell you, that was I said it on Wednesday. That was the most nervous I've been about a game all year, and for us to come out and pitch a shutout, man, that just really just made the evening. I can't. There's nothing else I can really say. That was a masterful performance by the guys. Great game plan by the coaches, and I nothing but praise, man. I'm so happy right now.
Yeah, I feel you guys. Watching us get that shutout today was awesome. Would have liked to have seen us convert a few more of those drives into seven, but you can't complain when you get a shutout over a ranked foe in the league. So
you always take the points.
Yeah.
You might know what North Carolina's score is right now.
It's 14-6 North Carolina.
Yeah, Georgia Tech's not very good. I know they gave us a good run in game one because it was game one, but I'm not very confident. I'm hoping North Carolina.
Listen, I hear you, Ash, man. I would have liked to put a few more of those in the end zone, but it's like I said on Wednesday. This is a game. This is a game where efficiency in the red zone is going to win you this game. Getting 3 points and getting all the points that you can get, even if it is just 3 points, is going to matter. In the end, it didn't because we pitched a shutout, but those field goals mattered, and I was glad to see that we were disciplined, and the coaching staff was disciplined and said, "Yeah, we're going to take the points."
Hey, unsung hero of the game was our new punter, Hodges. Of course, they did put Brock back in there in the last punt, but I thought Hodges was impressive. I mean, he had a deep punt, and he had the two he pinned inside the 10-yard line. Have we even had any punts? We probably have one or two, but not very many pinned inside the 10. And he kept the field position. He kept it looking good. So I was pumped about that. I'm a little confused why he wasn't out there last punt. But nonetheless, man, just an all-out great performance. I mean, I know on offense we could have scored a little bit more, but I'm not that worried about it. I think the best thing you can do on offense with a defense like what we've been seeing is to just have Jack Plummer not feel like the weight of the world is on his shoulders. And when that happens, I think we get a good version of Jack Plummer. He's got to translate. It's got to transition on the road. But I also think the coaching staff, like when we go to Miami, since that's our last road game, has to put him in a position where he doesn't feel like he has to do it all. And I think we'll be fine. And that's what we did today. Defense obviously did what they've been doing, but they did it even better today. Honestly, it's pretty obvious now when Ron English was at Purdue, the reason he didn't bring a lot of pressure or disguise his coverages and blitzes was because he didn't feel like he had the players to do it. That's the only explanation I have. Either that or he's just adjusted his game because he realized it didn't work. Either way, doesn't matter. I really like the game he called today. Obviously, it's easy to say because they didn't score any points, but I was watching what we were doing. It was just impressive, man. And we got some dudes, even with the injuries, because you got to remember, I go all the way back to MJ Griffin. He would be our best defensive player, arguably. Now Ashton Gelati maybe, but he'd be right there. And he hadn't even played a snap this year and won't play a snap. And we're still doing what we're doing. It's beyond impressive, man.
I just watched Joe Milton run over one of UK's corners. He was a lead blocker on a run. It was beautiful. So when Jack is lead blocking for Jawar, it's going to look great.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Guys, I want to thank everybody for coming in and joining us tonight after the game, and appreciate you guys. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't watched us before. Just help us out a little bit if you're liking the show. Greg mentioned a great point about the defense and the defensive line looking strong. I actually have to praise both of our lines, offensive line and defensive line, because with that offensive line protecting, the run or making holes for the run game, it allowed Jack not to have to, us not have to rely on his arm to make plays and stuff. We were able to run the ball primarily, which allows Jack to just kind of be a game manager almost. So we didn't have to, worry about any him having to force things or anything like that. And it really our line allowed us to kind of dominate that game on both sides of the ball. Defensive line was constantly in the backfield all night against Duke. So props to our lines on both sides of the ball today.
Yeah, I think tonight was just more like a get back to the basics. Like that's where we've been winning a lot of games is in the trenches, especially in the Notre Dame game. I mean, that's where we were probably most surprised and most dominant. It was, we won at the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, and we really took care of that tonight. So definitely hats off to that. With Renato going down, Austin Collins and some of the other guys filling in, they had good games. I can't say enough about Mason Rager. Man, he had some big plays tonight. When Riley was trying to escape the pocket a couple of times and get upfield. So that dude is just he deserves every bit of flowers that we can throw his way, man. He is such a good player.
I think Austin Collins getting reps right now while Brian's still here is going to help us a lot next year.
Oh, absolutely.
Because he's going to be in Brian's spot next year.
You don't think it'll be Sanker?
Austin's gotten reps. Sanker hasn't gotten any reps except against Murray, I don't think.
Yeah, but his reps aren't I don't know. We'll see. Either way, we got a guy. Austin Collins, I have all the faith in the world in him. Line did well today. We ran the ball. We prioritized the run. It's good to see. I mean, I don't know. I never thought I'd see a Jeff Brom team where the strength of the team on offense was running the football. Nobody predicted that. I don't care what anybody says. And that's clearly the strength. So I know that Jeff is used to throwing the football, and I think that's what got us in trouble against Pitt. He kind of went back to his old habits, which is normal for him to do when that's his when the players reflect that a passing attack and not as much to run. It's understandable why he would do that. But with this team, we pass based off the run. We don't run based off passing it and then opening up the run. Not that you can't do that for a couple of plays, but overall, this team is built to run the football, and then that opens up some passing game, takes the pressure off of Plummer, like I said earlier. And, yeah, put a goose egg on a top 20 team, Macro said. That's right, man. I don't care what people say. That's impressive. It's impressive, even though I never had a doubt in my mind about this football game coming into it, just due to the psychological aspect of it.
I did not think we'd pitch a shutout if Riley Leonard played. Now, if Beelan played as a backup, which I guess he was injured. Obviously, he didn't even come in there tonight.
I didn't even know he was injured until they said it.
I didn't either, but I actually thought their third string guy looked better, which makes me wonder why in the world Beelan was second string. But nonetheless, I thought if he started and Riley didn't play, I mean, yeah, maybe there's a chance. Even then, it's like the odds of getting a shutout, it's like all it takes is one big play or one big turnover, and they're right there in field goal position at the very least. So to be able to stop their starting quarterback, who's a gamer, he's hurt a little bit. I'm not going to sit here and say he's 100%. I also think that it didn't really matter tonight. It didn't matter what those guys did. We were ready, and you could see it the very first. That's all I wanted to see. I really knew if we were going to win this game based on the first possession, because I knew if we came out like I thought we would, like I predicted on Wednesday, we were going to come out here like a bunch of gangbusters.
Oh, hell, there he is.
All I needed was one possession. All I needed to see was one series. And when the defense went 3 and out and then the offense came out and dominated on the run, I was like, this game's over. I mean, I remember I tagged everybody in Discord. I said, this game's done. We're winning 60-0, which we didn't, but we won 23-0. So it's good time.
Close enough. It felt like 60 because it was controlled.
It did. It felt like a bigger win than it really was, to be honest. It just felt like they couldn't do anything.
Once we got up 17-0, you just felt like it was pretty much over.
It was. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know what the final stats were, but I guarantee they didn't have more than maybe 250, 300.
You get called out, Connor.
I know, that's what I was going to bring up.
It does kind of look odd. Not gonna lie, man.
Hey. I put this on when I got home from work.
It's like that puke orange.
Yeah, but it doesn't look. That orange got to go, man. You look like. I mean.
Well, we don't want you taking it off in front of us, though.
Hey, there you go.
I thought he was about to puke all over that puke orange. The way he kind of coughed there and lost his train of thought. But hey, it's a night to celebrate. I mean, the only thing that can make this night better. I don't really care about the UK game, to be honest. I don't care. I'm kind of with Ash. I think we got that game. I think they're owed. We owe them. I'm more focused on like Georgia Tech right now, which I don't.
Touchdown Georgia Tech, by the way.
Is it 21-14?
Yeah.
Nice. All right, they're not out of it. I don't think they're going to beat UNC for the record, but if they can give me a little bit of hope, just a little bit of hope. Drake May, if you want to throw a few inaccurate passes, throw a couple pick sixes, come on, man.
You want to turn into Sam Hartman? That'd be great.
Hey, that's the game I'm focused on. Everybody's watching this UK-Tennessee game, but I'm over here looking at the score of the Georgia Tech game because, to me, we need North Carolina to lose. I don't see Florida State losing, and if they do, they're not going to lose 2 games.
So right. Well, 2 stats I just saw on ESPN. Duke did not run a play in our red zone all game.
Nope.
I know.
They were 2 of 14 on 3rd and 4th down all game.
And let's be real, in the second half, our defense was kind of put on their heels a lot. Our offense had a lot of 3 and outs and short drives where they put the defense right back out there. And there's a couple of those. And then we had a bad punt when we put Brock back in, which, like I said earlier, for people that weren't on here, I really don't understand why we went away from Hodges at the end. He had 3 great punts. 3. Okay. 1 great punt, it could just be a fluke. 2 great punts, you start to kind of wonder. 3 great punts in a row, that's your dude. And it's no disrespect to Brock. He's been serviceable as a punter. He's been shanking a few, though, and then he went back in there and shanked one. And where I'm going with this is I thought that's when they would score right there. I thought when he shanked that punt, they had really good field position, but they didn't even get in the red zone. And Mike Elko gave up. Let's talk about that. He gave up early in the third quarter.
Yeah, I would have been pissed.
He still had a fighting chance. Now, it wasn't a good chance. He still had a
shot.
And he threw in the towel. He just said, screw this, I'm done. He just kept punting the ball instead of going for it. He said, there's no point. These boys are going to roll us.
Well, and then when they brought in the backup or the third string, whatever the hell he was, like they started to air the ball out. And he threw it better than Leonard did the entire game.
He did. He had a much better arm.
Well, that's also because English has a habit, and he did do this. Now, English coach, there's no English shade tonight. Let me make that very clear. There's none. but he does have a habit of kind of like laying off whenever there's an inexperienced quarterback and gives them more time to sit back there and look around. I don't like it, but there's no shade because we still didn't give up any points or even get in the red zone. We shut them down when we had to, so it worked out. But I think what I'm saying is I think if we kept playing like we were with Riley Leonard in the game, that guy wouldn't have stood a chance.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, my thing is that, that I hear what you're saying, like about there at the end of the game and Elko kind of giving up, but I don't look at as much giving up as that he just knows his team and he knows that's not who they're a run the ball team. They're not gonna beat you throwing the ball down the field per se. And when they're behind the chains like they were most of the day and most of the night, like those fourth down conversions aren't likely. So why potentially make it even worse and give us a short field? You know what I mean? So
To me, that's essentially giving up, though.
All
It's
right.
not that you necessarily think that you can keep it like. It's not that you necessarily don't. You're more worried about getting blown out even more because you don't think you have a chance of winning. I wouldn't care. I'd be like, look, we're already down 23-0. It's 13 minutes left in the fourth. It's 4th and like 5. I'm going for it because I might lose 40-0, but I'm going to lose. I'm going to go down fighting because there's a chance. There's a chance I can make some big plays. Now, obviously, basketball and football are different, but hell, Cleveland Cavaliers were up 9 or 10 points with a minute left in the game and lost in regulation. I'm still mad about it. So, I mean, football's different, but I've seen football comebacks where you think somebody's dead and they come back. I don't think it was going to happen. Let me be very clear. I never thought we were going to come close to losing this game even before the game. So I just thought that, I thought I've never seen coach that early, except for maybe Scott Satterfield against the UK. I've never seen him call off the dogs and just say, all right, we're done.
Speaking of Scott, let's get a Cincy check. Oklahoma State's up 10-7 with 4 minutes left in the second quarter.
They're already turning on Sat.
I'm so over it. Like everybody keeps bringing that up. Like I'm so past like the Satterfield thing. I mean, we know he's not going to do well at Cincinnati. I don't care.
He might be gone this year. He really might be. If they lose out, he really might be gone.
He's kind of having a. Well, I'm not even going to say it. Never mind. I'm not going to get basketball fans mad.
He's kind of a douche, so I'm glad he's losing. So
Ross like Scott Satterfield. Like I have no problem with the guy. I'm just glad that we have Jeff instead of him as a coach. But Ross never.
Speaking of that,
of the night.
Guys, I gotta say, I made it to my destination. I wanted to get on here and just be a part of it. Y'all carry it at home. It's been a good week, and go Cards, go Kroger, and y'all have fun. Be careful, all right?
All right, man.
All right.
So speaking of that, at the end of Ennis's show today, he said we should get a billboard outside of Nippert Stadium that just says "Thank you" with a picture of Scott on it.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I'm just over the Scott Satterfield thing, like thanking him and all that. Like people say it all the time, but I'm just happy we are where we are. I don't care if Cincinnati wins the rest of their games this season, if they lose the rest of them. I just don't care. I'm just glad that we're where we're at. I had some hesitancies about Coach Braum coming in, but the people that said, look, it's because Purdue had limited roster. That was the problem. He's going to do a lot better here. I was a little skeptical of how good he could do in year one until he started recruiting the way he did and hit the ground running. And I jumped on board immediately. So at this point, what I'm saying is I'm just glad we got Coach Braum. That was obviously a huge upgrade. And we don't need to talk about Coach Satterfield anymore.
Hey, we're always going to have an Atlanta connection for wide receivers. So
and Macro actually Macro's actually right here because I have some experience around this. Like when I worked for UC, I couldn't even tell some of their fans where I went to college, without them, if they were to ask, a lot of times I would tell them, and then like they wouldn't even want to do business with me or work with me. So, I mean, it's weird how jealous of Louisville they were in that time period. And I'm sure it hasn't changed much. So
Yeah, but they
macros,
went to the playoffs, so maybe.
I mean, like their fans get really bitter about U of L stuff. So
Pat, jump on, man. I see you still in there commenting. Let's see. I'm looking through these comments. Nick says, imagine watching the pod and Ross shows up with your DoorDash order because he's driving. Man, Ross is friendliest dude. He spends so much time talking to you when he deliver your food. Your food be ice cold. It'd be freezing, man.
He was driving to Cincinnati and he was on with Dennis, and then he was on with us.
Look, Nick said the same thing. Connor, is that a cowboy hat hanging on the wall? I really legit, it looks like the way it's set up.
It looks like one of those floppy hats. Is that what it is?
Exactly
like a cowboy hat, and
okay.
it also looked like a tennis racket at one point. But
tennis racket?
No, not right now, but like the way it was earlier, it was like the handle. It looked like there was a handle. All right, Pat's on.
What's up,
He's
Pat?
joined us. What's going on, man? Baby in bed?
Baby's in bed. I've got a half order of fries because Ross delivered them half eaten.
Come on, Ross. You're gonna have to get that credit. Call get that credit.
I can actually see that.
Yeah, no, I've already called Uber Eats support. And I don't think Ross will be driving for them again.
What'd you think tonight, Pat? I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, no, I went to the game. I had to take my first my buddy canceled on me, then my nephew canceled on me, then my brother canceled on me, so I took my mom.
Daggone, you don't want nobody want to go with you, man.
No, I guess I'm not fun to watch games with. But listen, man, that was awesome. I thought I put in the chat, but I thought those first 4 drives really set the tone. You get a stop, touchdown, and the way Duke plays, that's a hard hill for them to climb. So I thought we set the tone, and then we kind of I actually appreciated how Jeff coached the rest of the game. He kept the ball on the ground for the most part, let the clock run, and it was more dominating than the final score says. But even the final score says it was dominating. So awesome game, top 20 win. Man, I think we got a legit chance to go to the ACC title.
Would it have been nice for it to say 40-0? Yeah, great. But like at the end of the day, you just shut out an AP top 20 team, and that
completely
literally never happened in Louisville history.
And Kentucky scored, guys. It's I think it's 26-24 now.
Yeah, you would be correct, and I need Tennessee to drive down the field real quick.
Oh, and to answer your question,
part of me, I'm never going to root for UK, but if they win out and then we end up beating them and they're like ranked in the top,
makes our record look better.
I'm cool with that. Like honestly, it's just one more top. Not that I'm going to root for them. Like I said, I can't go as far as rooting for them, but I'm also not going to get mad if they win, if that makes sense, against these teams, because again, the more the merrier, man. The more big wins we can get under. And I have no doubt, like, as long as we go into that game healthy, we don't have one of those fucking flu things that we get right before we play them every single year. As long as we don't get a flu outbreak where they all get COVID or the flu or whatever, as long as we're healthy, I don't care if they're ranked number 5. We're going to win that game, in my opinion. I just feel
Georgia Tech's driving the ball in North Carolina territory.
They just got a touchdown.
Touchdown, Georgia Tech.
Wow.
So it's tied up, right?
21-21.
All right, let's go, boys. We need
some
of the biggest. What's Georgia Tech's the
yellow jacket?
Yellow jacket. Yeah, I'm thinking of Wake Forest. See, I don't know. They're all the same. Georgia Tech, Wake Forest, Boston College. They are kind of in that same group of 3-headed.
I'm the biggest Hayes King fan in the country.
Hey, man, Georgia Tech does have a good coach, Couch House. You're right. So I'm
at least it's not, Dave Doran or Karen Clausen at Wake Forest.
I don't get the Doran hate. I really don't. That's all Ty. Anyway,
he's a cornball, but
nothing I can't. I'll tell you, if there's another one that's on the level of Clausen, it's what's his Narduzzi at Pittsburgh. Oh my God.
Did you see what he said today?
No, I don't care because they suck, and I'm just mad that we lost to. But here's the way I rationalize the Pitt loss. Look, there's 3 games we could have easily lost. I mean, we were really close. I mean, really barn burners, and I thought we were dead in the water in all 3 of them at some point. So we won 3 of them, and we lost the one at Pitt. So
Yeah,
that's the way I look at it. Like, I know some people are thinking, like, if we beat Pittsburgh, we'd be in a playoff race. But, like, you could just as easily say we could have 3 extra losses. So I'll take what we have is what, out of those 4 games, we won 3 of them. We did lose the ugliest one.
Yeah.
But we've also won 2 dominating games against top 25 teams on our home field. So we got that going for us.
Well, and then he lost the locker room this week. So that's great.
If you cover the score of the Pitt game and look at the stats,
yeah, we won.
You'd say Louisville won by 10 points. So it was turnovers in the red zone. It's one of those games, man, and it sucks, but it is what it is.
I'd like to have that game back in normal weather conditions too.
Yeah,
run that game back next week, and I guarantee we win by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt. But that's the thing it did too. It kind of lit a fire under us, I think. Like I said, that's why I was so confident in this game. I said it on Wednesday. I was just like, they've had 2 weeks to think about this game and think about how woulda, coulda, shouldas. And that's just a long time to sit there. I really think if we played Duke the week after, like the very next Saturday, we could still come out the same way we did. But I don't know. I don't think it would have been with as much fire. I think having to wait for 2 straight weeks to rectify that. And we got a little healthier in that process. I mean, that was great. That's great stuff.
I also think that they got their ass chewed out for 2 straight weeks too.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's what I mean. 2 weeks of hearing how, you let your foot off the gas. I also think the coaches felt like they needed to call a much better game today because really they put them in. So
28 days. 28 days.
I think, Kyle, you hit on it there, man. I mean, you look at how the game was called today.
Incredible.
And this isn't to say that Jeff Brom doesn't trust Plummer, but he said, listen, we're going to go with our strength here and run the ball, unlike what I did against Pitt. And I think he found out that sometimes that's all you need to do. You don't have to have a bunch of downfield plays. So, yeah, I was impressed by the team's response, the coach's response. I was impressed by the fans' response too. I looking at the boards today and seeing about the first 10 threads being people trying to sell their tickets, I thought I was going to go out there and see 35,000, but it was a good crowd, man. It was a good crowd.
Yeah, I think I've been one of the biggest most in the Discord. I've been one of those outspoken people about being disappointed in the crowd sometimes, but I think we just got to kind of move on from that. Like, it is what it is, and it's been that way for the last 20 years. It hasn't changed.
Slightly better though.
I mean, it's gotten incrementally better, but I'm not sure it'll ever be one of those places where we're selling out every week. No. But I think that the stadium size is fine, because then when you have a Notre Dame or a top-ranked Florida State or something like that coming in, it just makes the environment so much better to have those extra seats. And who gives a crap if the flight deck is, 25-30% empty, in a game like tonight? I mean, it really didn't matter. It didn't take away from the game at all. So we just got to move on from that.
So future ACC power Stanford is down 2 midway through the third quarter against Washington.
Well, I liked how Cal beat up on USC today.
They lost. They lost. They lost. They went for 2, down 50-49, and lost.
I totally gave up on that game because I thought they had it.
They lost.
Yeah.
I guess I'm one. I'll never get into the whole California teams being in the ACC.
SMU dropped 69 today.
Joke at this point.
It's just so stupid. It's like if that gets us if it gets us more money, I like that, but I don't know, man.
Yeah,
you guys want to listen to the press conference at all? I got it queued up, but
yeah, for sure. Play it. God, come on, Georgia Tech. You've had 2 third downs. Drake May's just really good.
Let's see here.
Did Wisconsin just tied it up with Ohio State too?
All right, we're waiting to get we're getting the post game Jeff Brom's comments uploaded, so just bear with us a little bit. Yeah, Nick, I don't get it. Pacific Coast teams joining the Atlantic Coast make it make sense. I mean, obviously we all know it's about money, but it's the fact that it's gotten this out of hand is just stupid.
All right, here we go, guys.
Today, we rose to the challenge. Never fun to go into bye week with a tough loss. I hate it. I know our players hate it, and I think in order to be a good winner, you got to really hate losing. So it was a rough 2 weeks, but we put in the work. We worked hard to improve on some things that have hurt us, and I thought we made tremendous strides. So to come out here in front of a great fan support, great turnout, who are all into the game, and be really efficient on offense, be really physical up front, run the football at them, take advantage of what the defense has given us, set the tone early with 2 touchdowns early, and a 14-point lead against a team that doesn't like to be down like that, allowed our defense to kind of just go out there and dominate. So I just think we throw a lot at our defense, ask them to do a lot. I think today we had some mixture of disguises and coverages and things we were doing and shifts and stemming that threw the defense off, and it paid off. So I think our defensive coaches had a great week. Our players were into it, and we got after the quarterback. But I think being efficient on offense and getting the lead was the most important thing. Not turn the ball over. Being smart with our special teams was efficient as well. We made all of our kicks. We kicked it out of the end zone. We covered kicks. We had 1 penalty, but whether it was or not, we'll take a look at it. But just a really good day for us.
All right, pause it real quick. What penalty is he talking about? I must have missed that.
We had a after a kick, we had a personal foul.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it was right. I was sitting there watching from the stands, and who's for us, it
was Mo.
Maurice Turner.
Yeah, it was Turner. He basically pile drove the guy into his own sideline, so it was a legit personal foul.
A really good opponent that had been.
I know you are
leads and both their losses. And other than that, they played some outstanding football, and I thought we really came ready to play today. So very, very proud of our team.
Coach, before tonight, Louisville had never held a team scoreless for half a ranked opponent. So to hold Duke to 0 points for the whole game, just kind of talk about, especially with Riley Leonard out and playing and seemingly healthy. What does that say about your defense and just the game plan put in over the last 2 weeks?
Well, I like the scheme of our defense. I like all the different things we do. Like I said, all the disguises, all the stemming, all the shifts, all the rotations after the snap. And I think it gave them problems. And I think, when you can get a lead and make a team throw it more than they would like to, it allows you to do that even more. So that's what's important. So today, like I said, we wanted to be efficient early, see if we could just not turn it over, get a lead and help us kind of get back, with good momentum to set the tone. But our defense, we rotate guys in there. They play hard. I think, it was just a great day for us when we shut down about everything they had. We got after the quarterback. We did a really good job. So I just think, a great effort. We got to build on it. But I just think all of it, believe it or not, ties together. The offense being efficient, running the ball, controlling the clock, and the defense being able to get after the quarterback.
Jeff, kind of going off of that, you've talked about making adjustments to defense, kind of playing the personnel. I guess, what areas of growth have you been most pleased with? And then just, I guess, with Jarvis and his situation, kind of update on what he was communicating to you and just kind of how he is.
Well, unfortunately, Jarvis has a foot that, it's not 100%. And, he wasn't able to kind of play a whole lot today. But you know what? Storm stepped in there, did a really good job. We played multiple other guys at corner as well. They held their own.
Next man
up.
Just
got to continue to build on that. And I think that's why it's important to have depth, build depth throughout the season. We've done a good job with the defensive line, being able to rotate quite a few guys in there. We're trying to get that way at the linebacker position. And I think in the secondary, we're building that as well. So, like I said, I think everything matters when you win, and I do think that the plan was really good, the disguise was really good, and then the aggression was really good.
Jeff, there are more than 350 former players here today before the game. Talked to a number of them, and they all thanked you for encouraging that and to come back. Why is that important for you to have the former players invested in like that?
Well, that's what it's all about.
Pause it,
Really.
pause it.
Sounds like basketball, boys.
I hate questions like that. Like, that's just such a common sense answer. Like, it's a layup question, and it really built like, okay, yeah, it's great that we had it, but why is it important to have former players come? I don't know. Why is it important to score more points than your opponent when you're playing against them? Why is it important to tell your wife she looks good when she first wakes up in the morning? Why is it important to eat food? Like, come
Why
on,
is it
bro.
important to have guys that played football all their lives?
And I mean, I'll be interested to hear his answer, I guess, but it's probably going to be like, well, they've had experience. It's always good to bring guys back in, and it's just going to be some basic. Let's just hear it.
I've already heard it. Yeah, that's
Here's
exactly
the thing, though, is like
you always want to keep your guys in close to the program. Sorry,
a lot of times people criticize questions from reporters like that, and I'm not sure who was asked that question, but a lot of times those questions will come from print reporters because then they want to put a direct quote in their story, and even though they know what type of answer they're going to get, they still need to have the coach actually say it in order to use that as a quote.
We know who it was. It wasn't Pat Forty.
They want more subscribers. They need to ask better questions. I'm sorry. I hate those questions.
I mean, that happens all the time, and it's a function of the print media. So,
it's a pet peeve of mine, but it's fine. Let's hear it. Let's hear what I know he's going to say.
Blood and sweat and tears into helping this program. All of them love it here. A lot of them still live here. A lot of them have moved on, but they love coming back. It was great to see them be here and put on a good performance. This is a special place. It's a great university with a lot of history and tradition, super fans that want to see high level of championship games being played. And there's been some good players come through here that played at the highest level, and other players that were just great teammates that really loved their experience here. And that's why sports in general, but definitely the game of football, is such a great game. It kind of builds that camaraderie. Everybody wants to be the star and catch the ball. So, that's great, but you need role players. You need guys that do other things, and you need guys that don't do as much, but they just love
he's totally answered like a question I wanted to ask. It's such a bad question.
That's what these guys are that show up here. So it was great. We had a great turnout. I hope they enjoyed it as much as we did. We got to continue to keep pushing this thing forward, but all the help that they give us is tremendous, and we'll keep asking for it.
Yeah, he answered the question, obviously, but it was like, why'd you ask me this question after we just beat
he trailed off into a whole different
Well, and what I was trying to say is, like, say that reporter is writing a story about the people who came to visit or came back to the game, the former players that came back. If he's writing a story about those players, he needs a quote from the coach talking about why it's important that they came back. And the only way to get that quote is to ask a dumb question. So, like, even though it sucks that he's asking it, and we all know what type of answer he's going to get, the only way for him to have that quote is to ask the question that everybody else is going to roll their eyes
I get what
about.
you're saying.
Well, at least his answer wasn't, well, we need him to love on the guys and teach them how to win.
It's fine. All right, let's roll.
Hard to get Jawar to even humble brag on himself. Can you kind of crystallize what he means when he's healthy in there for your offense?
Well, he is humble and he's soft-spoken, and you wouldn't think he could do what he could do, but he was injured and didn't practice a lot, and I didn't know for sure if he's going to play. We don't want anybody to play that can't, but obviously if you can, we would love to have you out there, especially when you're a difference maker. So he stepped in and played at a high level, and we relied on that running game today. And man, when you give him some space, man, he just got some wiggle and some quickness and some toughness as well. When they do hit him, he just kind of gets right back up. So I think it was a great day for offensive line, tight ends, and running backs. And our receivers were unselfish. Quarterback was efficient, but Jawar is a difference maker. So I think continuing to build the running back room with others, but he definitely has stepped in there and made some big time plays.
Jeff, you've obviously been known as a guy for a high-flying passing game, points, things of that nature. But you've talked before about how you've grown as a coach and your involvement with the defense and the rest of the team as well. The way this team plays, is that a reflection of your growth as a coach, the strength of the running game, defense, and play up
No, I
front?
like that question.
Well, I think
That
it
was
all ties into play. I've learned a lot along the ways, and scoring points and putting up passing yards and throwing it deep is always a lot of fun to do. But at the same time, the game has changed a little bit. Referees calling certain things in the secondary has changed a little bit. So you have to take what the defense gives you. And I just think we wanted to set the tone early.
Gritting his teeth through that answer.
Teams play us for the pass quite a bit, so you have to be able to run the ball. And I think when teams going to start to play us for the run, now you got to be able to throw the ball. So I think in order to be a great team, you have to be able to do both, and you have to work at it. And I think I have grown at making sure that we still have the ability to work hard at being able to do both. And without question, having a defense is vital to success. So we've built that up to this point and had a really good stint on defense. We've had some really good moments. I think the package that we put together is good. It's multiple. It's able to do a lot of things, a lot of different ways. And, our defensive coaches, work with me, and we want to do things to confuse the quarterback. We want to do things to throw him off. That's who you have to beat. It's one thing, play caller, but you got to beat the quarterback. He's the one that has the ball in his hands every play. He's got to make the quick decisions, quick reads, and you got to beat him. And I think our package today definitely was able to confuse him and it allowed our D-line to kind of get in there and make a lot of good plays.
I like that answer about the
You
plan
partially
for the
answered this,
quarterback,
Jeff,
and then
but,
like a ripple
the way your
effect from
defense was
there.
playing today, the way your running game was going, did it afford you to basically to be able to play maybe a little bit more low risk offensively? You didn't have to put the ball in harm's way. You didn't have to go for fourth downs, that sort of thing.
Well, we were low risk today, and it is hard to do that for me. But last week we lost, and that was not very fun. And I just think, man, you get about 10 to 11 possessions a game, and if you turn over 3 or 4 of them, you're not going to win. So you got to just massage and balance that and make sure that you're efficient. And would I love to throw it deep and get a bunch of long touchdown passes? Yes, but we got to pick our moments to do that. And I just think the plan today was, hey, let's not ask Jack to do it all. Let's not ask the passing game to do it all. Let's rely on the offensive line, the running game. I knew the defense was probably going to be thinking, hey, this team throws it.
That should always be the plan.
And we've hit a lot of deep play actions throughout the year, which definitely softens things up for the run game. So we took advantage of it. And then, of course, when the defense is playing like that, then it really adds to a really complete game. So, we'll keep building on it. At some point, we're going to need both to win a game. And at some point, you're going to be down and you're going to have to throw it. So we still got to be efficient in that as well.
Jeff, just kind of going off that point, using the bye week and just protecting the ball as an emphasis, how crucial was that as the main emphasis? Was that a primary emphasis for you? Because obviously you see how your running game does when you're able to hold on to the ball. And going off that pick game as well, was that kind of where that led you to go in that direction?
Priority number 1 and priority number 2 and priority number 3. So, yes, it was talked about a lot. It really wasn't pointing a finger. I mean, when you're the quarterback, the ball's in your hand. I mean, you're gonna make a couple mistakes. Sometimes they're completely your fault. Sometimes they're not, but they go on you. So when you win, you get a lot of credit. When you lose, you get a lot of blame. But it is important to just minimize turnovers and interceptions and fumbles and evaluate everyone individually. A screen pass, we can't take a sack and fumble on a screen pass. And, so I just think we wanted to value the football. Yes, it was talked about a lot, but you got to go out and do it. And when the ball's in your hand every play, I mean, and if I'm asking the quarterback to throw a lot and you're getting pressure and guys sometimes aren't getting wide open, it's not easy. So I just think we had a conservative plan that had the ability to open up if we needed to, but we didn't have to really get to that point because we were efficient early, got a lead, and our defense was playing well. Okay, thank you.
I do like that. Like, he actually talks about football, and he's like, "Oh, he didn't say, oh, we tried hard or whatever." Like, he actually talks about like what happens in the game.
You've been jaded by Kenny Payne, dude. Most people talk about the game when they have post-game pressers. We just have
Hey,
one
KP
person
did
doing it.
after the exhibition. I'm willing to see if
He
he's
did a
kind of
good job,
turned
I
over a
thought.
new leaf. I'll say that. But anyway, good press conference. Obviously, it's a good press conference after a win. It's a bad press conference after a loss. It doesn't really matter what you say. But something you like to see, I guess, in a loss, you like to see accountability. And I think he did that after Pittsburgh. After a win, though, there's not much you can say wrong, right? I mean, you can get out there and make fart noises and, put your hand under your armpit and just sit there and do that for 10 minutes. And we'd all think he was a genius after a 23-0 ass kicking.
I think, though, in this press conference, he again took, even though it wasn't directly talking about the Pitt game, he took accountability for that Pitt loss. He basically admitted that, his play calling wasn't the greatest. Yeah, he was too aggressive. And he, and he was humble enough to say, hey, listen, man, I've got to learn just like everybody else. And I learned, and and he came out with a good game plan today. I thought, based on the opponent, and this is what I thought we would have done against Pitt. Duke is not going to light you up through the air. They want to play a close game and win in the trenches. And we came out and dominated the trenches and basically made it so that it was near impossible for them to come back without getting out of their game plan. And he did not want to, Elko did not want to get out of their game plan. So, we kept it on the ground. We kept it conservative. And is it the most fun football to watch? I enjoyed it, but some people might not.
I enjoyed it.
We're winning.
Even though we only scored 23 points, it wasn't even like our offense played bad. It was just we got down there and sometimes we got a field goal instead of a touchdown. And then I guess there was a couple of dead possessions in the second half, especially in the fourth quarter. But I mean, by then you're just killing them and you're just happy to be there. And let's not forget how good Duke's defense is in the first place. Like it was never guaranteed that we were going to go marching down the field like we did in the first half in particular. Duke has a hell of a defense.
Well, I think I saw it like towards the end of the game. Like when Elko got there, they were averaging giving up 35 points a game.
Well, remember what Malik Cunningham did. He had like 600 total yards against him, like 350 passing, 200 something rushing. Had 7 touchdowns. I mean, they were terrible. And then Elko gets there and immediately like a 180 on defense. And that's carried over into this year. So make no mistake about it. The only time I've seen their defense break was like halfway through the third quarter onward against Florida State. And we know how good Florida State is. So the fact that we came in there and did as well as we did in the first half on offense, honestly, at halftime, I was ready to say, I don't know which side of the ball is playing better, offense or defense. Obviously, in the second half, the defense kind of pulled away with it. But, I mean, my goodness, it was all-around great game. And one point I made, I called in the 93-9 tonight, and I made this point on the post game. But how awesome is it for a potential transfer who may not feel like they're getting the opportunities that they deserve or that they feel like they deserve, I should say. When you look at a school like Louisville and Gilbert Frierson gets a big interception. He's made big plays all year. He hasn't been out there a ton, but when he's out there, he does really well. He didn't do anything at Miami. When he left Miami, he was known as like a locker room guy, a raw, pump you up type of dude, but he was a tweener. They said, there is no position for him on the field, so it's hard for him to play. Well, we've made a position for him. Now, how's that going to sound when you're recruiting portal guys? Devin Neal, he did okay at Baylor, but he's made impact plays all season for us. Jack Plummer, I mean, none of the quarterbacks really, it seems like this year, first year portal guys, I don't feel like any of them are playing lights out.
Devin
but
Leary's
when he's at home, at least he plays really well. And I mean,
Sanders.
It's just Sanders. Well, yeah, I guess playing for playing for the same coach. I'm not even gonna give him that.
Yeah, I was going to say that doesn't count. He's playing for the same coach that he
Well, yeah, he's in a different program. But okay, overall, most of them, not really playing very well.
Touchdown, Tennessee.
I guess I'm to the point though. Like I'm looking at all these guys. Like we've got offensive linemen come in, transfer in. They're making impact. It's every single position. I mean, Jawar Jordan, even though that was under another staff, he transferred in from Syracuse. He's crushing it. He's crushing it more this year than he ever has. So give our staff credit for that too. He's literally, he's in the top 10 Heisman race if he doesn't get hurt before the Pittsburgh game.
Jaws is, and we've got a rich history. Jaws is one of the best running backs we've ever had.
Okay,
man.
That's a good segue. Where are we going to rank Jaws if he continues as he is this year for the rest of the year in the running back? And obviously, some of us are older than others, excuse me, and I get that, but like on the trajectory now. I don't know. I'm always going to put Michael Bush number one, and I hate he got hurt his senior year because we all know what was coming. We know he was going to – I legit think Michael Bush could have won a Heisman Trophy. That's how good he was. I'm not kidding. Now, it's hard to do as a running back, but, the man damn near had like 250 yards at halftime against UK or something crazy, and he was just getting better and better and better. I got to rank him number one, but then you got guys like Eric Shelton, Bilal Powell. You got older guys like Lenny Lyles. I'm sure Ash has got some older names in mind. But where's Jawar Jordan going to rank on this list?
I think he's top 5, man.
I do too.
I think he's top 5.
He's towards the back end of it, but he's up there.
He's got a legitimate case for 2 or 3, in my opinion.
Would he have started on the 03 team?
I don't know about start.
Well,
yeah, that 04 team is the one I'm thinking of.
04 is what I'm thinking of too.
The 04 team was stacked.
You had Bush, Gates, Shelton, and Colby Smith. 4 guys all in the NFL.
Hey guys, I was 5. I was 5 in 04. So
yeah,
I don't know if he would have started on that team.
Well, I don't know if he would start over. I think Bush is the GOAT.
Bush is the GOAT.
So, we really didn't have a starter on that team. It was like the 4 guys just kind of took turns running the ball.
I think Jaws is better than Eric Shelton, and that's no shade towar's Eric Shelton. Eric Shelton's a really good running back, but Jaws has separation that he doesn't have. But here's the thing about Jawar, though. He's actually pretty powerful. Look at the run he had on that first touchdown. Oh, my God. Yeah. We all know he's faster than hell. But what he did, I know he got some help towards the end, but he had to stay upright to even get that help. He's powerful dude for his size.
Yeah. The guy I look at and look at Jaws, and I'm like, I have a hard time saying who's better. It is Bilal Powell.
Yeah. Bilal just got it on some bad teams.
Hawkins. I forgot about Hawkins. Javen, he was good.
He was good. I think Jaws is better than Hawkins.
I think he's better than Javian.
I think he might be.
Hawkins.
Well, and I think he's better than anybody we had in the 90s. Like, he's better than Frank Moreau. He's better than
Frank Monroe,
Leroy Collins, Anthony Shellman. I would take him over any of those guys.
Yeah.
And Frank Moreau had a decent NFL career, too. So,
yeah, Bilal. Other people are saying Bilal Powell versus Jaws is tough. That is, that's tough.
Yeah.
If we'd had Jaws against Pittsburgh, we win the game.
Yeah. You're talking about in this century, no doubt top 5 and maybe top 5.
Oh, I think he's top 5 all time. And I'm not a prisoner of the moment. Obviously he's got to finish out the season, but you're talking about a dude who, if he doesn't get hurt before the Pittsburgh game, what's the worst he's going to do? He's going to get like 60 yards at the worst. Yeah. I was kind of hoping he got over 200 a day because then he would still average over 100 yards a game. And I'm still hoping he does that.
He had 160,
163, which was a new career high, which I actually was surprised his career high is that low, which sounds weird to say, but I feel like he's flirted with that amount for a few times now. He doesn't like the last year, those last like 4 or 5 games. Like, I don't know, I've said this before on here. We beat UK last year if we keep giving him the damn ball. Satterfield shit his pants again against them. And it's all he had to do. They could not stop that man. And we were like, you know what? We're going to have Brock Doman throw the ball. And that's how we're going to try to win this game. Yeah. So no offense, Brock Doman, but come on, man.
Hey, our backup quarterback's on punt rush, and our backup quarterback is on kickoff return. Let's just throw that out there.
Oh, Evan Conley. Yeah. Hey, you know what sucks? The Conley package worked and then still didn't work. We got a holding call. When is the Conley package going to work? I don't think Brom's going to give it up. Conley package is this Conley's last year? It's got to be, right?
I think it is.
Macro said that Jaws reminds him of Ralph Dawkins. That's a good comp, but I think he's better than Ralph. If I got pressed to put him somewhere, I'd put him probably third or fourth right now.
All time
behind Michael Bush and Bilal Powell, and then he'd be kind of pressed in that like Eric Shelton group right there, third, fourth, something like that.
Yeah,
I've got him above Shelton.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like right now, we're only halfway through the season too.
Sure.
And he missed one game, and he's still averaging, let's just say, 100 yards.
Well,
I think there's a very good chance he gets up third.
You look at the yardage per game, but I think today, and I'm just looking at stats right now, but I think today and the Notre Dame game are his two highest amount of carries at 21 carries. So you talk about yards per game, but you talk about yards per carry. It's insane, man.
Yeah.
It's insane.
He's averaging 7.4 yards a carry.
I mean, that's where you start to kind of wonder, like, is he I can't put him above Michael Bush. I can't do it. Because Michael Bush, here's the thing, Michael Bush didn't average 7-something yards a carry. But for those old heads know. I mean, you don't have to tell an old head. If you are an old head on here and you tell me Michael Bush wasn't like arguably the best running back to ever come through, he's got to at least be in the top two. If you don't have number two, but to me, you got to have number one because you got to assume his senior season was going to be dominant. But even without it, like Michael Bush, the thing about him was he could take over a game. Like I remember Boise State. I went to that game in 2004 when we were like number 4 and they were like number 6 or something. And we were both in the top 10. And it was I think we won 44-40. And it was because of Michael Bush. They just kept giving him the ball and they couldn't stop him. He just took over that game. And that's the kind of stuff he could do. And he was just so big and elusive for his size. There's nothing you could do with the man. He could blow by you, but he could run right through you. And by the end of the game, you just wore the hell out. It's kind of like how in NFL, Derrick Henry could just obviously his NFL. And, that's actually a guy who I think if Michael Bush stays healthy, doesn't have that injury, that's the kind of career I think he could have had was like a Derrick Henry. There was nothing to do with Derrick Henry. He's big. He was fast. By the fourth quarter, you were just done. You just want to lay down. You want to go to hell home. You want to take an ice bath. You didn't even want to think about Derrick Henry. You want to see that man's face because it freaked you out. It put fear into your heart. That's how Michael Bush was in college till he got hurt. Yeah. But beyond him, Jawar Jordan's got to be that next dude right now. Like over 7 yards a carry. I mean, he is killing it right now. He was going to be that good. When he first got here from Syracuse, he wasn't even starting.
He was
struggled a bit. And then all of a sudden, I feel like I will give Satterfield some credit. I feel like he finally figured out how to use him that back half of the year. And then it was a whole different game.
Yeah. So, I mean, Bush obviously, great pro running backs are usually great college running backs, but Bush was built for the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
He had the muscle, the weight, and everything. Jaws is not built for the NFL, but he is a top-notch college running back, which is kind of, I assume Jaws goes pro after this year.
Yeah,
but he's not. He doesn't have the weight that an NFL running back has. So I guess there's a slight chance he comes back, which would be unbelievable. So
with NIL, there's a chance. With NIL, there's a chance.
Yeah.
But I don't think he'll come back. But I mean, you got I don't know. Give that man.
They don't value that position in the NFL anyway. So
well, and think about this. Michael Bush also played a little bit of linebacker his sophomore year too. People forget about that.
Mm-hmm.
He actually lined up at linebacker a little bit his sophomore year.
He could play any position that was a skilled position. He could play it.
So Jaws is also averaging 9 yards a carry at home.
besides offensive and defensive line, he could play any position. And I mean, you never know on defensive line, he might be able to be an edge rusher. I mean, he was just different.
Yeah.
And the fact they came out of Louisville, which is not a football city, it's just like, how lucky could you have gotten with that guy? What could have been if he didn't get hurt? We'd be in the national championship game playing Ohio State, but it is what it is. All that's in the past. To get back to the point, Jawar Jordan got to be in that top 3 running backs of all time at Louisville. I think top 4, and we'll see if he goes pro or not. Nick feels like he has to go pro. I think he will go pro. I don't see why, but I'm also with Patrick when he says that. I don't think he's built for the NFL. That's no disrespect. It's a different man's game in the NFL, and it's a different style of play. He's fast, but I just don't know if he can take those kind of hits. So is Javian. Yeah. They're kind of similar, I think, in a lot of ways.
Jaws has better vision, in my opinion.
Better vision, and that's what separates the two. That's where I give Jaws the slight advantage to Patrick. I think he's got slightly better vision. But Javian was Javian.
Lionel Gates, though, too.
He was good. I wouldn't put him in.
Lionel Gates gets lost in that shuffle because of all the great running backs we had at that time.
Well, George Stripling.
His name reminds me of Lionel Gates than it does Shelton or Bush or Colby.
Well, yeah, George Stripling, too.
George Stripling, I forget about him.
Yeah, they had a lot back then. That was like the running back golden era of football, but I don't think any of those type of dudes besides Bush.
That's way before my time.
Yeah, you missed that, man. I hope we can get back to that under Braun. And we might. Hey, we had a play today that reminded me of Petrino 1. We had a play where we play action fake, roll out, hit the tight end down the seam.
Mm-hmm.
That was a Petrino.
That was right out of 1.0.
Now listen, he was an offense coordinator for Bobby P. So you got to wonder if some of that stuff he had to take in from him. And that play right there, I was like, I know where he got that play. Because, he had guys, and it was like pre-snap. They were, disguising where, their motion. That's the whole thing was a thing of beauty. That would be my favorite. That's probably my favorite play of the entire game. And it was like an 18-yard gain, so it was nothing amazing. But it got our tight ends involved, which we know our tight end is not a strength of our football team right now. And it was just a beautiful play, man.
It will be when Jamari plays.
Well, yeah. Jamari's going to be a beast. Which what's great is he can redshirt and work on his conditioning. I feel like a lot of us thought Jamari was going to have to start by default, and it's like we haven't even needed him. And Gatewood, even though he doesn't get a whole lot of playing time because he probably isn't up to date on the blocking schemes in the running game, so I think he's a liability. And I think if you put him out there, it's going to be a pass play because he's going to go out there and catch the ball.
Yeah.
But, man, he can make some catches.
Jamari can play 3 more games, too.
Yeah. What I wish – so I was thinking about this with Gatewood when I was watching the Eagles and the tush push. Is on that, for one, I didn't think we should have gone for it in that pick game out of halftime on 4th and 1. But if I had to redo it, I would have put Gatewood behind center and done the tush push with Gatewood.
Dude, you're right, because he used to be a quarterback. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
I mean,
you need to call Jeff tonight. You need to send, you know what? Go on his Twitter, send him a DM, and just say, "Hey, man, I got an idea." I'm kidding. Don't do that. Don't be. There are weird fans out there that probably.
I'm sure there are.
I bet you the coaches. I bet you if they actually looked at their DMs, I bet you there'd be some weirdos. Hey, man, I got this good play idea. I know you've been struggling with the Conley package, but if you put Conley in motion, did a double reverse flea flicker, and then he faked to the left side, and then you had Jawar run down the seam. I'm telling you, man, 6 points every time. Just think about it, man. Just think about it. Send.
I'm sure. Listen, I'm sure that happens, and I'm sure there is a coach out there that has gotten a message from somebody and said, "Hey, that's a good idea. I'm going to do that."
Andy Reid
and I'll never get the credit though when somebody in the press game's like, "Hey, what was the innovative idea? What stroke of genius? What can I say?" Just laying there one night, it just popped in my head.
I heard a story that Andy Reid does that shit all the time. It was like a custodian or somebody in the facility drew up a play, showed it to Andy, and then they ran it the next week.
That
You know
would
how
be an
awesome
Andy
that would-
Reid thing
You
to
know how
do.
awesome that would feel if you knew that was your play? But then, like, nobody would believe you. That would also suck. It'd be like, I'd have like these conflicting emotions because I'd be like, that was my play. They just ran and got a touchdown. But go ahead and tell your buddies that. Be like, Jeff Brom ran that play because of me. He asked me.
No, he didn't. Shut up.
They'd be like, "You delusional fuck, get out of here, man. What kind of narcissist are you?"
Well,
So
listen,
you,
if
you
Jeff,
have to hold on to this knowledge that you called like a genius play and that it was a part of Louisville football history if you get a touchdown off of it, but nobody would ever believe you. So you could never
Well,
tell anybody.
if
How do you
Gatewood
go
ever
through life
runs
that
the,
conflicted? I'd probably lose my mind.
if Gatewood ever runs the quarterback sneak, we know Jeff listens to the pod.
Please
Well,
do it next
he-
week. Please.
Hey, when he ran the Jack Plummer sneak up the middle, I commented in Discord. I said, "Thanks for listening to me, Jeff." I was obviously kidding, but I made the comment that play where we ran out of shotgun, we should have just had Jack Plummer under center. But I like your idea, Patrick. That's pretty good. Putting Gatewood out there, it had them shook too because they'd be like, "Why is he under center right now?
Yeah.
What's he gonna do?" And then he just took.
He's bigger than Plummer, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Taller than Plummer.
He's
He's
bigger,
taller.
more athletic. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a good
Now
idea.
Nick says that he's got the lower body of me, but he's a tall dude. He looks strong.
Hey, yeah. Hey, don't be calling out us 5'9" dudes. That's average male height. Okay, we're at least not short.
That's right.
Now, my in-laws, I have 4 brother-in-laws, and the shortest one is 6'3". So, kind of sucks. And I don't play basketball with them anymore because I'm very competitive, and it just pisses me off. But we're not going to go there because y'all don't care about that. So let's keep talking about the game, okay?
Hey, we do got a basketball game coming up Monday
No,
night.
God, no, we don't. I don't want to talk
Yeah,
about
we
it.
do. Here we go, guys.
What a horrible throw.
Who
Ready.
do we play?
Kentucky Wesleyan,
All right.
who only
Jesus,
lost
Georgia
to St.
Tech.
Louis.
The dude threw it into triple coverage. Oh, wait, they
So-
called it incomplete.
So
Boy.
Kentucky Wesleyan only lost to St. Louis by 10 this week.
Yeah,
So
that's
what are-
out of bounds.
So yeah, that might be a loss.
We're going to win that game, guys. Come on. I can't be the only positive one here.
Which game?
The basketball game Monday night.
We're
Sorry,
gonna-
I was looking. I'm
we-
looking at this. They almost.
We
had
should
an
definitely
interception.
win that game.
I'm looking.
I
I'm
agree.
watching this North Carolina Georgia Tech game. Like my life depends on it.
Guys,
So-
we are going to – I mean, even if you don't think we're a tournament team, we're going to be a lot better than we were last year. I mean,
Simmons is not a good measuring stick, though. Simmons is
I know it,
bad.
but you can still, like, look at the way
Well,
they shared the
can we at least
ball
just
and
agree that the jury's out and not like? Well, let's not.
Last
we
year,
don't know
like,
what happened last
immediately you
year,
were
but
like,
let's,
nope,
let's just
it
give it a
doesn't happen.
chance. Let's just give it a chance.
Yeah. The talent as a whole is much better than last year.
Yeah,
I
let's
think.
just give it a chance. See what happens.
It just, I see
You
this-
can watch an exhibition and be like, this team's not it immediately. But the game we had the other day, or 2 weeks ago, you could tell that the team's better than last year, even if the opponent was terrible.
Yeah, the only question is it's like the only question is how much better. You're gonna have to be a whole lot better, but we don't know yet, so we don't know. So it doesn't really do any.
New York will be
I didn't
the real
understand all
deal.
these fans debating each other after the Simmons game. It's like we played Simmons. We won by 40 something, which is what we had to do. But you really don't know anything more about this team after that. Now the turnovers are a concern, but it's Simmons. So it's like you don't know how good or bad this team is based on that game. So just whatever.
Yeah, and then somebody started going at Lieberman and said, "You didn't win TBT, so you don't need to be talking." I'm like, he should
It's
be on our staff.
Yeah, he should actually.
Yeah, and it's my understanding that he wasn't closed-minded to the idea of being on a staff, but it just didn't happen. And maybe that's not true, but I trust who said it. So
Yeah.
I definitely
Oh.
trust who said it. So
I 100% think it was an idea, and I think somebody else was also supposed to be on staff in those 2 extra coaching positions that were open this summer.
yeah.
That is currently still at his school as the head coach.
Yeah. Yeah.
Guys,
I've heard
Macro
that
says
too.
that the first CFP playoff rankings come out Tuesday. You guys think we'll be in the top 15?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
I think
Bottom
we'll be right.
of the top 15, but I think we'll be top 15.
14 or 15. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think Utah losing is going to help too. Utah got blown out.
Yeah, man, I needed over in that game.
Um,
I'm
Or-
just My biggest thing, I just want us to be able to play in the ACC championship game. I mean, it's year one. I mean, anything beyond that would be gravy. And honestly, it doesn't even have to be that great, but we're right there, man. And I know, like, you could argue the UNC losing to Virginia was the same as us losing to Pittsburgh, but man, it sucks to think that, like, if we just beat Pittsburgh and they lose that game, we're in control of our own destiny. That's why I'm watching this game like crazy right now.
I think UNC losing to Virginia at home with Drake May is worse than us losing on the road in the rain at Pitt.
Oh no, they might turn.
I agree.
This might end up being an interception. Oh God, it was a horrible throw. It is an all they did call it interception. Jeez, they overturned it. Yeah, the Georgia Tech quarterback threw it in a triple coverage. As soon as he threw it, I looked over and I was like, "Where's the receiver?" And then I finally saw him like way in the back, but there was 3 white shirts ready to pick it off. Oh man, we have to beat Kentucky. Neil says I'm not even worried about that. That sounds
Guys,
so.
we're gonna go 11-1. Like I'm already confident. We're not gonna lose another regular season game.
I'm worried about Miami still, just like I was before the season. Our road game, I know they don't have an intimidating road atmosphere, but here's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid they're going to make that a night game, and that changes everything. You make it a night game, all of a sudden
they might have 30,000.
The UK game's at home. What are you talking about?
Come out at night, and I feel like they're going to be. And, if we haven't lost any more games going into that game, we're going to be a top 15 team, maybe top 10, probably top 15.
UK's at home for us.
Yeah, UK. I'm talking about Miami.
Oh, okay. I was like,
I'm talking about Miami. Like, that's the game that scares me the most on the schedule right now. I am a little bit nervous about Virginia Tech next weekend because they've improved a lot. I feel like
I'm glad that game's at home though, because
I am too.
Man, I tell you, it doesn't matter how good Virginia Tech is. That atmosphere in Blacksburg is always a good one, man.
I'll be honest, I'm more worried about Virginia than I am Virginia Tech because Virginia's on a short week.
As long as we don't have any major injuries, I'm fairly confident that we're going to win out the regular season.
Yeah.
Did Miami end up winning today?
If we win out the regular season,
yes, they won in overtime.
11-1. That's that's probably our second best regular season ever.
We had 2. We had one under Strong and Teddy, and we had one under
Sugar Bowl year.
Yeah, but I'm talking about when you talk about being in the ACC versus the AAC. I think.
Oh, this is one of our best years ever. Like if we go 11-1, like that's not even a question.
Now here's a question though: if this team played Teddy's team, who are you taking? I'm taking Teddy's team because he's got quarterback.
I'm taking Teddy.
And their defense, I don't think. Here's a hot take. I think English might be doing a better job than Bedford did under Strong. It's lower sample size, but I would give a slight edge to our defense that or this year compared to that year, but I'd give an overwhelming advantage to Teddy Bridgewater's offense. I mean, if you had a quarterback like he don't have to be quite as good as Teddy, but even remotely that good in college right now with the skill players we have, we'd be undefeated. It wouldn't even be a question. Some of those games that we almost lost would have been bigger wins, and then we would have beat Pitt for sure.
Yeah.
Oklahoma State just scored 2 touchdowns 6 minutes into the second half. They're upset.
No, 2016, nobody's touching that. Oh, and we also had 2014 that lost a game. I think that's our best team of all time.
I think our 04 team was better than the 06 team.
Was 2014 when we lost to fucking Blake Bortles on a Friday night?
Yes,
The 04 team, we had 6 games. I think it was 6 games where we gave up less than 10 points. I mean, it was like
year. I mean, I remember that, but who did we lose to that year? Memphis?
I'm pretty sure that was a Memphis loss. I got to pull up the schedule.
What year?
The 04 loss. That was the Memphis.
No, the 04 loss was at Miami. It was at Miami. Miami was ranked like number 4.
We had a good year where we randomly lost to Memphis.
I remember I was at that game. That was I think that might have been 2000.
And I don't know why I didn't think about the Miami game because I was actually at that game. I got to go. I went down there and went to it was in the old Orange Bowl. And I had 2 fucking UK fans sitting right in front of me.
It doesn't matter where you
it always happens.
You can watch a
I'm like-
game in Antarctica and
Like,
there be
why?
UK fans.
Yeah, there'll be some polar bears wearing UK.
I'll never forget there was
Well,
a
they're
play
fat as
in
polar
the
bears.
first
Oh, I'm
half.
sorry. I'm not
There was a
UK.
play in the first half where
It's
we
all
were
UK
driving
shade.
toward the open end of the Orange Bowl on like the 10, 12-yard line. Stephon LaFleurs calls an audible to Tiger Jones in the corner of the end zone for a touchdown pass. It was just beautiful play. That audible that Stephon called on that play, and then the pass and catch was just awesome.
Come on.
That was like
Speaking
a
of that,
Thursday night game too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Speaking
It was
of
on ESPN. Yeah, we lost 41-38. We had a 17-point lead going into the goddamn
remember,
fourth
yeah.
quarter.
Speaking of UK fans at Louisville game,
That's the only game we lost.
can we pull up the picture of the UK fan throwing L's up with Katie George during the game?
I don't want to see it.
Katie
Oh,
George.
UK fan threw the L's up or the L's
Yes,
down?
yes,
L's
he
up.
threw L's up.
Katie George probably told him he had to if he was going to take a picture with her.
He has
He's
a
probably
sign
trying to.
for
Hey,
it.
he's probably trying to get in her pants. And she's
That
like,
04
"You're not
team,
even a
we had
Louisville
6
fan." He's like, "Whatever it takes,
gave
man."
up single digits or less with 2 shutouts.
Oh, man.
We beat Cincinnati 70-7.
I love that game.
That's one of
I
my
remember
favorite
that.
games of all time that I've ever
Yeah,
attended.
I love that game. They stomped on
I-
the
I
bird.
believe-
That's what we need. We need a good bird stomping. I'm hoping Virginia Tech decide. That's what we need. We need somebody to really like in a game where you think we're going to be maybe sleepwalking a little bit. We need somebody to step on the bird. UK might.
You know,
I hope
UK
UK does
do
it
some
and Jeff
fishy
just
stuff.
herb stomps their ass.
Oh no!
And the box score is not available. I think the South Florida game, Michael Bush actually threw a touchdown pass to Stephon LaFleurs.
Well, Georgia
If
Tech
I
just
remember.
lost this game midway through the third quarter. 3rd and 18, they gave up a 30-yard run. So it's
Oh,
over.
Jesus.
Sounds like 3rd and Grantham.
That was never a thing. 3rd and Grantham was something Georgia fans told people.
Yeah.
Kelly Dickey did the stats on Grantham's 3rd downs. He actually was really good. No, people just remember the horrible ones because they stick out in your memory.
Mm-hmm.
But every coach has those.
Going back to
that
Eagles
comment. If Lamar is on this team, good God.
Well, yeah.
Going back to Neil's comment here, if we do go 11-1, is Jeff Brom in the National Coach of the Year conversation?
Damn well
He should be anyway. He brought in an entire
should
new
be.
team.
I mean, I don't know. I guess I'd
National
have to
Coach
see.
of the Year, though, that's tough.
I guess I'd have to see, but like you'd have to think Brent Venables was up there, but he just lost. So
Yeah. And whoever else is undefeated at that time,
that's tough. Yeah, we'll probably want to give it to an
Kalen
undefeated
DeVore.
coach.
If
Washington's
Washington's undefeated, does
coach.
Kalen DeVore get it?
Yeah, I could
Probably.
see that.
Brom is definitely in the run. I mean, he may not even get ACC Coach of the Year because, Florida State goes undefeated.
That's true. Now I can
We're
see them
going,
doing
man.
that. Kissing
Remember,
Florida
man,
State
people-
backside, trying to keep them in the conference.
People were hating on Norvell about a year or two ago, and man, he's got them rolling now.
Yeah.
I don't think Deion Sanders is going to get it now. I think
Not
that
now.
I think
Not now.
I think to Ray Lott's comment that the media will give it to Deion. I think they really want to. I think if they felt like they could justify it, they absolutely would. But I think he's just lost too.
They're
That
down.
loss that he had against Stanford took him out of it, man.
Well, and
That
they're
was a
down.
joke. I don't care. I like Deion. I know a lot of people are sick of the hype, and I
love
know a lot of
Deion.
people don't like him. I love Deion Sanders, but he choked, and you can't choke a game like that against that kind of. That'd be like if we were beating Pitt by that much, and they came back and beat us like that on our home field.
UCLA.
That was a choke of the. That might be a choke of the century.
UCLA's up 14-9 on Colorado right now, and they're about to score again.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. You're not gonna. I'm not worried about Deion Sanders anymore. Yeah, I think that was like when he was like 3-4-0 or whatever he was. That was a shoe in, but nah.
yeah, and then
he's
they
done.
choked the last 4 games.
Yeah.
You mean
Well,
Jim Harbaugh? And Jim Harbaugh's not going to win Coach of the Year?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Has he won it yet?
That just went straight over everybody's head except one person.
Oh, I get. Yeah, I don't know what you're saying.
The cheating.
The sign stealing.
He went and said some
yeah,
coaches.
stupid.
Which let me. How crazy is that? That not that in particular, but you are not allowed to go scout another team.
You trade tape. It's the same thing. You just trade tape. Like
I know, but that's just a crazy rule to me that you can't go and watch another team's game in person to scout them.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
If they're on the schedule. If they're not on the schedule, you can. You just can't do. You
What's
just
the,
can't
what's
do
the
video.
difference?
What do you mean? What's the difference?
Who cares? I mean, I don't know. It's like
I'm just telling you what it is. Like
we know what it is. That's what we're saying. We think it's dumb.
It's a crazy rule to me, man.
Tennessee wins 33-27.
That means my wife's coming home soon, and she'll be pissed off.
Yeah, Patrick. I question if we should even have him on a show with his judgment decisions. He married a UK fan, a hardcore one. No, it's all good, man.
She is pretty hardcore.
I couldn't do it, man. I don't know how you do that.
Well, listen, there's been times before we got married that we almost broke up solely because of UK or U of L stuff.
So what happens when we play?
Okay,
what happens when we play Kentucky in either sport?
We don't. Well, basketball now, because we suck so bad, I don't even care. Whatever.
Yeah,
but typically it's we watch games at separate locations.
Oh my, yeah, you'd have to. I'd have to.
I get mad if we lose.
You must really love your wife, man.
I do love my wife, but I don't love the team she roots.
But I'm saying, like, to be able to overcome that, because, like, for me, it's like you can look in hindsight, like years later, and say, well, obviously the good outweighs the bad. But like when you first start dating a UK fan,
yeah,
like
it's
you two must really have connected, like you two must have connected immediately and like had immediate, like, okay, this is different than the rest, chemistry. Because
here's what happened.
Questioning some things at the beginning and being like, I don't know if this is the one for me or not. And then she throws that out there, like, I'm a hardcore UK fan.
Here's what happened. You meet in the summer when nothing's going on, and you build your relationship. And then by the time it's fall and UK and U of L's playing, you know.
Touchdown North Carolina.
That game's over. Oh, yep.
Yeah, it was over after that stupid, which Drake May ran for it. He's a beast.
Drake May should go higher than Caleb. Let's just say that.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that one. But yeah,
you'll always be home sweet home to me.
I even have family members, like my mother's side of the family's huge, and they're all hardcore UK fans. They live in the middle of like a little town called Waddy, Kentucky. For anybody who knows where that's at,
Waddy Paytona.
That Waddy Paytona is what people call it.
I know exactly where that is.
It's in northern Kentucky.
Yeah.
No, it's not in northern Kentucky. It's between Lexington and Louisville.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I knew I'd seen the sign for it a lot.
But I'm telling you, they're all hardcore UK. They don't really talk to me about it. I don't talk to them. I actually got really mad at a cousin one time because he just kept talking about Russ Smith. And Russ Smith's my favorite player of all time now. So I might have, that was back in my drinking days. I happened to get on Facebook, and I'll never forget what he said. He said Russ Dickulous, but he spelled it D-I-C-K. And I've been letting that dude slide because all he would do was talk shit about Louisville all the time. And finally, I had a few in me, and he hit my best player. And I said, I just want to let you know you're getting blocked by your own family member because of how obnoxious you are. Go Cards. And I sent it, and I blocked them. And I was young. You got to remember, I'm young. I'm inebriated. I don't even drink anymore. So I shouldn't have responded that way. But enough is enough. And I guess my point is, like, I don't know how I could be married to somebody that's like hardcore. Like, if I might be able to make it work if they're like, oh, I'm a UK fan, haha. And then, like, you know, they're one of those like casuals. And then, like, as I'm like a huge Louisville fan, they just kind of, you start seeing them wear my Louisville shirt. And then all of a sudden they slowly convert. But Patrick, it sounds to me like that ain't happening with you, man. And I don't know if I could do that. So
I got the kiddos, though, man. I got the kiddos. We made a deal that the boys would be U of L fans and the girls could be U of K fans, and we had two
Oh,
boys.
I couldn't do that even. No way.
It's hard
I'd
to
have
do that
favorites
though,
then.
because you can't really
Favorite
indoctrinate
kid.
them either. Like it's hard because you can try to make them fans. Like my two stepkids, for example, I'll tell you what a lot of it is too, and this is where basketball kind of pisses me off. My stepkids started getting into basketball right when Kenny Payne takes a job, and we lose every game. And so, and guess where? We live in Indiana. So guess who they're watching? They get
Mike
tickets
Woodson, baby.
They get tickets to an IU game. Trace Jackson Davis starts like dominating, and they came all the way back against Michigan in that Big Ten tournament game.
Yeah.
They're IU fans now. I lost them. I mean, now Jackson, my stepson, he'll root for Louisville some, especially in football, because IU's not that good at football. We know that.
Yeah.
But it's like you got to hit them at the right point, and that's where it's like really hard. Like you got to strike while the iron's hot. And when somebody first, like me, when I first started getting interested in football first, I went to Louisville game and we did really well. And then I started to watch basketball, and it was DeJuan Wheat, and I loved DeJuan Wheat, and I just fell in love with Denny Crum and DeJuan Wheat and that team that ended up going to the Elite Eight. That was the year that I got into it. So you basically, it's hard. It's hard. So like the Louisville, Kentucky thing's interesting to me
next year
because really, I mean, let's say like you're 7 years old and you're like, I want to watch this football game. You live in Louisville. Louisville's playing Notre Dame. Guess what? You're a Louisville fan the rest of your life after that game.
Yeah.
Well, let's say you turn it on and Louisville plays Pittsburgh in the pouring down rain. You might still be questioning your fandom and who you want to root for. I mean, it's just weird how that works.
So what's funny is both my grandparents worked at UK and retired from UK and tried to raise me a UK fan.
You said no.
And for the longest time, I was the biggest Tim Tebow Florida fan you would ever meet in the state of Kentucky. And then it just flipped.
That's what's in that bag back there.
So what made you a Louisville
Something
fan?
to do with Tim Tebow. And
so what?
I don't know what ended up making me like Louisville, but there was just something that I couldn't like Kentucky.
Okay, so you just are like, I live in Kentucky. I can't deal with their fans at all. So that's all it took for me. Because really, I'm gonna be honest. That first year I watched basketball was actually the '96 UK team. Rick Pitino, that was a great team. I mean,
team was
entertaining as hell team. And we had that was also the year DeJuan Wheat was playing well, Samaki Walker and all them.
Mhm.
So I gravitated more to that team just because I like DeJuan Wheat. But if there was any chance I was going to flip to UK, it ended when I dealt with their fans, including my own, which I love my extended family. But I just didn't like the sports, the fandom, the way they love it. Like they're all into that fanatical crazy, like it's everything in the world type of mentality.
They throw L's down at you every time they see you?
No, we just don't talk about it. And I don't get to see them much anymore as I live up here and we're busy. But my thing is, it almost came across, even as a little kid, as like cultish. And I just don't like that as a fan. Some people are all into that, like Clemson fans. I feel like it's a big cult. I feel like some of those fan bases, it looks awesome. They got all these traditions, but it's just a little too culty for me. And I'm more like, okay, we're diehard fans, but we have lives outside of the daggone game.
Touchdown Oklahoma State. They're up 31-7 on Cincinnati.
Well, for me, I'm a third generation grad, so I was born into the red.
Yeah. You were born into.
Man, and you mentioned that '95 team. Do you remember that tournament game in the second round against Wake Forest? Like we should have won that game.
That stupid travel that wasn't called.
Well, and Samaki Walker was outplaying Tim Duncan in that game.
Yeah,
and for some reason,
I remember, man. It was my first pain. That's when I knew I was a Louisville fan.
I cried after that.
Yes, I cried too.
I don't know why, because
I remember I'm like 7 years old or whatever.
Denny used to like to feed the post, and we just stopped giving it to Samaki the last like 3 or 4 minutes of that game.
But
and he had been outplaying Duncan in that game. We should have won that game. We would have gotten smoked by Kentucky in the Sweet 16, though. So
he clearly traveled, and that's what.
I don't know why we quit giving him the ball, though.
No, I'm talking about Tim Duncan clearly traveled, and they
I know. Why did we quit giving?
And that's the end of the game right there. But anyway, I know y'all don't want to hear about 96,
95,
95, whatever. Yeah. That's 95.
I mean, Connor left the room because it was
Connor
he wasn't
probably,
even a thought back then, man.
yeah, Connor wasn't even like a sperm yet, a little spermy run around.
Was it 95 or 96? Now I'm questioning if it was 95 or 96.
I thought it was
97 to
96.
98.
Wasn't it the same year we played UK won it all? I thought, yeah, because they it was 96.
I think so.
It was 96. We would have gotten obliterated by Kentucky, though, if we'd have beaten Wake. So it wouldn't have mattered.
And that might have swayed my fandom because I was still young.
What's the year we lost in the Elite Eight?
What kept me?
So I heard all that. I wasn't born for another 4 years in 95.
Because 97,
you weren't even a little sperm in there yet.
You were sitting in your dad's nutsack somewhere going.
I don't even think he was
there.
Is that
yet. The same year we had to have a wild comeback against Tulsa in the second, like in the last 10 minutes of that game, just to advance?
I'm watching this Georgia Tech game, and I'm not very impressed right now with what's going on.
But Tulsa was the first round game, was that?
Now listen, hey, North Carolina does end their season. They play Duke, North Carolina State, and Clemson.
Hey, they could lose two out of three right there.
One of those three. Come on now, one of them.
They could lose 2 out of 3.
One of them. We need one of them, and we need to win out.
Is Virginia Tech only have one loss?
Yes. So next week is a de facto elimination game for both of us.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, good news about beating Duke, too, is we were tied with Duke. I think people kind of saw they had 2 losses recently, but one of them was the Notre Dame. So,
welcome, Doc. Glad you could join us, but, man, you don't want to know.
Doc, you came in at the wrong time.
We've segued into 90s basketball talk and everything else.
Yeah, Georgia Tech just keeps giving away third downs. Every single third down, it's just down the tubes.
Kind of like what we did in that game in the second half, or not the second half, the second quarter.
Yeah, well, are you talking about against Georgia Tech?
Yes, against Georgia Tech.
No, they dominated us. I'm talking about North Carolina.
That's what I'm saying. Like what we did against Georgia Tech in the second quarter.
Well, that's what they're doing.
We just gave up first down after first down because didn't they score like 21 and
well, it was that third and 18 did them in. Actually, I said it was a run, it was a shovel pass, but like they did like a shovel pass and went for like 30 yards. That's when the game was over. But yeah, really need somebody to knock off North Carolina. I think Duke could do it. Duke still has a really good defense. Riley Leonard, now here's what I'd really like. Now that Riley Leonard, I mean, they're probably not going to compete for an ACC title. Let that man rest a couple games and get ready for that North Carolina game.
Play that third string guy. That third string guy can sling it.
I was looking at North Carolina's schedule, and yeah, so they play some horrible, like a D10 team I've never even heard of, randomly next week of all weeks. And then they play Duke, North Carolina State, and Clemson. Now I might have the order. I think I've got the order wrong.
They play Campbell. Campbell's not terrible, but they should win.
Campbell's not going to beat them. It doesn't matter if they do. It doesn't help us.
No,
why are you playing Campbell in November, bro?
That Alabama plays some
That's
whoever.
an SEC schedule thing.
Yeah, because Alabama plays an FCS school the week,
yeah, that's
FCS
common with the SEC schools, though.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Florida State plays North Alabama the last week or the second to last weekend in November.
Jeff, thanks for joining us. It was a great win, man.
Jeff joined.
Yeah, you missed a lot of the conversation we had earlier. We're just kind of shooting the shit now, but
yeah, Jeff, you should have.
We're rooting for Georgia Tech, but it's not going too hot for us right now.
Jeff, we have a new play for your tush push. 4th and 1. Let's call it.
Gatewood tush push.
Here's the other thing that I think is funny.
Another 3rd and 1. They got it.
That controversy cracks me up because back when the USC play with the Bush push was so controversial, like the media kept making an outcry about how that play should be made legal. And now here you are, 15 years later, and everybody's complaining about the Eagles and saying that the play should be made illegal. And it's like, make up your mind. Quit going back and forth because, back then everybody was saying it should be illegal. Yeah.
Emory Jones just got killed.
People whine when someone does something that they can't do.
Hey,
Hey.
Pat, I'll say this last
Yeah,
night.
because
I was
they
pretty
made it.
pissed
They
at
made
the
it
Cavs
legal
refs.
after the Bush play.
Not to get too far into Cleveland, but me and Patrick are big Donovan fans, and we talk during the game, and they were up 10 points, I think, with like a minute left, and they lost in regulation. But the referees, man, I mean, it wasn't all the refs, but God, they really can change the outcome of a game, though, because there was a few costly, and then all went to OKC. Every single
All of them
call
went to
favored
OKC,
them.
and the majority of them, and this isn't to be sexist. I'm not picking on her because she's a female ref, but I'm just
It
saying
was her.
that's the identifier.
It was her.
And she was
I don't
awful,
care
man.
what her gender is or what she identifies with or whatever. She stunk it
was
up last night.
Awful.
Anyway, we're not going to talk too much about that because, I mean, Donovan played a balled out like Donovan does, and it wasn't enough. Now, here we
One
are
of his
again,
best
boys,
games
3rd
ever.
and 3, and they're going to get it. You watch. Here you go, 3rd and 3.
So, Pat, you're an Eagles fan, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
get it.
Shout out to your quarterback
go
for
for it.
carrying my fantasy team.
Yeah, he's good, man, especially fantasy-wise.
Are you a Flyers fan?
I mean, I guess if I had a hockey team, I'd be a Flyers fan, but I need someone to teach me hockey to get into hockey, man.
I'm just learning. Like, I still don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but I've gotten super into it this year. In the baseball Discord that we're in, a bunch of the guys that got me to start watching it this year. So I've been watching a game.
It's entertaining
almost every day. The Flyers, I guess, are actually kind of surprising people right now. So that's why I was asking.
I've heard that. I might have to start figuring it out. Although my wife would hate me because, I mean, it's like the Phillies lose, in the World Series, and she probably thinks that my watching something every night at 8:00 is done, and then the next night Donovan has his first game, so she's like, "Damn, what out of one in right?"
Oh, here we go,
dude. That's my wife. She thinks we're done with stuff. She's like, "Oh, I'm so glad the sports season's over." I'm like, Donovan Mitchell, bitch. It's like, I'll tell you what it gets her every year. I'll be like, I'm in the NCAA basketball tournament, although I haven't been as much into it lately. Well, all of a sudden the tournament will end. And this is more when Louisville was actually in the tournament, especially. Tournament ends, but I'm a huge NBA fan. So all of a sudden I start really watching it, and I start, best of 7 series. And she's like, basketball finished in April. What are we doing right now? Why are you still watching basketball in June? Like, she doesn't understand. And I'm like, nah, bitch, still going.
Yeah.
As long as I get my wife a hoodie for the team, she's good. So
then she'll see, she'll be like, okay, didn't they just play this team the other night? I'm like, yeah, it's a best of 7 series. And so then I got to explain to her how that works. And it's just the whole time she doesn't even really care how it works. She's just annoyed that I'm still spending nights watching it. So then she starts rooting against my team sometimes. She's like, man, I wish they just lose. So you quit. Like, don't do that.
That's not nice.
My wife doesn't do that, but out in the open, I'm sure she does it secretly, though.
Yeah, she doesn't like outright, like obnoxiously root. She just says, I wish they'd get beat since they're already down. So they got to lose because, like, it's when like Cleveland will be down like 3-1. She's like, well, then I hope they lose because otherwise I got to win 3 games in a row. That's just to get to the next round.
Yeah.
And then they still got to win 4
around
more
the
in the
house.
next round.
Whatever.
Oh shit, the Diamondbacks are up 7-1.
Yeah, and then like she doesn't get like all of a sudden like the pod thing. She's like, so why is there a pod tonight? It's like, well, there's a post.
I know mine did say the same thing. I was like, well, post games are
post game pod, man.
To talk about. Yeah, we got to talk about it. So
I did learn something very valuable about her pod though. Nobody wants to tune in after a loss. See, I knew it would either be like we get a bunch of people in here pissed off to vent, or it'd be nobody at all. And it was definitely the latter. Like after that Pitt game, people are like, I don't even want to see these guys. I don't want to hear. I don't want to see the Louisville attire. I'm sick to my stomach. I get it.
I still can't even believe that we fucking goose egg Duke. Like allowing 0 points in the top 20 matchup, ridiculous.
Never broke a sweat, boys.
It's crazy.
I saw these people getting nervous. Ross was nervous. I was like, come on, man. It'll be all right. We're not gonna come out flat after that awful performance, having 2 weeks off at home.
Hey, we need to be Arizona's biggest fans tonight. That way, Oregon State drops in the rankings and we can move up.
Doc, Georgia Tech's D is an elite. They've already given up 35 points.
Georgia Tech's defense sucks.
I don't think they're just okay. Georgia Tech's they're always kind of mid. It's just like kind of like a Satterfield team. That's where he should have been. They'd probably be okay with it. They'd be like, that's fine.
Speaking of Satterfield, he's punting from the Oklahoma State 45-yard line down 24 points in the fourth quarter.
That sounds like Scott. That's why I said earlier when Mike Elko started doing that, the only other coach I know that does that is Scott Satterfield. Like, I get the argument like, well, you could go down 40. Well, yeah, that's what Ross's point was like. Well, if you keep going for it, they could get it in your territory. Yeah, you're down 23-0 in the fourth quarter. Who cares if you lose 50-0 at that point?
It doesn't matter.
You have a chance to get back in the game. You take
a loss is still a loss. Like,
yeah,
it
you take
matter.
the chance. You take the chance every time. I was surprised Mike Elko didn't do that today. And then Satterfield, he's the same way. He's like, oh, shucks, Billy boys, let's just get a good night's rest so I can go to Cracker Barrel next day. And I can order my chicken and dumplings. Like, I don't know. I'm not into that philosophy.
What was that about, Connor?
Oklahoma State just fumbled the snap at their own 2-yard line.
I don't care about that game. Come on.
Hey, I sent you a trade offer, Patrick. Check that out.
I know. I need to get back into looking at that.
I'm playing the number one guy in my league this week. I need Tyreek Hill to have about 40 points for me.
Tyreek.
Man, I am bad at fantasy football. I will say that right now.
See,
I need a co-GM to help me out.
It seems fantasy football seems fun to me, but I never get into it because then I start caring more about individual players and rooting for my own team. And it kind of like that. I can't do it because it's like my brother-in-law tried to like convince me to join his league, and he's like, you just root for your team, but you root for the individual players. It's like, okay, the individual player on the other team is Patrick Mahomes. We're playing Patrick Mahomes. He's the quarterback. He runs the offense. How can I root? Or no, let's say Patrick Mahomes is my starting quarterback, which would be great. Well, but I'm a Baltimore Ravens fan. Ravens play the Chiefs, and I've got to root for Patrick Mahomes to have a great game, but somehow we're supposed to win that game. I can't do that. I just can't do it.
Just like when the Eagles are going to play the Cowboys and I have Jalen Hurts starting, it's going to be.
I got Dak on one of my teams, man.
Yeah, it's like then I've got to root against my fantasy team, but then that kind of takes away the purpose of it.
Yeah,
or you got to root for your fantasy team and root against your team. Well, I don't know. I can't get into it.
It's
I know a lot of people love it. I can't get into it.
I think it's different, like when you play with people you know too. Like if you just join a random league, like it's like
there's no fun in that.
But if you play with people you know, like everybody in my league, we all work in college athletics, and we all like know each other in some kind of way.
Yeah, that probably does help.
It's fun. Like, fantasy football though too, man. I'm not saying people can't be just good at it, but there's a lot of luck involved with it, man. There's so many injuries,
very random.
So many injuries in the NFL, man, that your team can be destroyed by, Nick Chubb gets injured.
Oh, I had J.K. Dobbins.
Connor, that's your fault. I told you not to get J.K. Dobbins. I told you he wouldn't last 3 games. Did I not?
I mean, you did after I drafted him.
No, I told you that before, and then you drafted him. I told you it again.
Well, I have Travis Etienne, so it's fine.
Yeah, you're lucky. But J.K. Dobbins is I mean, he's just made of glass, and I know that.
And I picked up Kyron Williams off waiver wire. Like
Georgia Tech's been running.
I thought the game was over.
No, it's only the
third
third
quarter. Anything from me, Ash. The game's over in the second or third quarter with me until it's not. And I'm gonna reverse.
You guys had me thinking the game was over.
No, they're down 11 in the third.
Duke got their first down,
they still got to stop Drake May.
When Duke got their first down, Kyle was sitting at home saying the game's over, Louisville's lost.
Yep. Hey, reverse jinx is a thing, man.
That's right.
In my mind.
I wonder why Drake May is not in our chat tonight.
You know how big of an ego you have to though to really believe that you impact a game with decisions that you make at home. Like there are people that literally do believe it. They'll be like, "Well, I sat cross-legged on the couch, and ever since I did that, we came back and won." It's like, okay, yeah, all right. Now, obviously, we joke about it, but some people believe it.
Oh, he said touchdown Georgia Tech.
Yep.
Clutch did.
Go for
That's
two.
Georgia Tech. What?
Thanks
Go
for
for
pointing.
two.
Wait, what? Georgia Tech just scored?
Yep.
That's what
they
Clutch
scored.
says.
Yeah, you're
Man.
busy watching Cincinnati, dude.
Yeah, you're watching.
Stretch right, stretch left.
Why would you ever watch Scott Satterfield unless it impacts Louisville football somehow, which it does not.
Because Oklahoma
thankfully.
State's beating their ass and it's fun.
We were forced to watch it when it did affect Louisville football as our coach, but I would never. Got it. All right, they're only down 3, boys. That was a good
There we
2-point
go.
conversion. That was a good play call.
Time to turn it on.
They pretty much like set up a wall.
Time to flip it.
Man. Now, that's the thing.
What? If they were playing on the CW, I almost guarantee you North Carolina would have lost.
You know, if you had a big old set of balls, you do an onside kick right here and not give the ball to Drake May. But
Was that Hassan Hall that scores?
Problem is, if you didn't get it, then Drake May's going to throw one
I always
pass and
forget
got a
about him.
touchdown.
I don't think it was, but
Clutch, welcome to the Third Banner Pod, by the way. I don't recognize your username.
That's what I was saying a minute ago. I don't remember
But
seeing him before.
anyway, hey, you're right. Like, I don't know if he'll make it. I don't know. It kind of
what? I didn't. What was the comment?
he's saying he might not. He's saying this will be 6 straight losses for Cincinnati. He doesn't know if Sat makes it a year or 2. I kind of wonder because Cincinnati, you got to remember, they have like a history of. They had like a golden era run of coaches. They had Brian Kelly, Mike D'Antoni before that. They had Butch. Even though a lot of these guys kind of sucked when they moved on, they were good at Cincinnati. Mike D'Antoni was good. You know, he had his moments where we spanked him. But, I mean, for Cincinnati football, he did good, and he earned a position. All these
Those
guys
3
moved up.
back were really good. I mean, they weren't just good. They were. I mean, they went
Yeah,
to.
and then, of course,
they
you
went
know,
to,
like, what's his name? Luke Fickle just
TF
let
bowls and stuff.
yeah, they had like 4 guys in a row that took.
Well, no, they had Tuberville in the middle. That he was terrible.
Yeah, he was just washed.
I forgot Tuberville was even there.
That was a long time ago, though. See, they've had a good run.
I had to sell that shit.
They've had a good run, though. And so you look – my point, I guess, is you look
He
at
was so miserable when he walked into the building in the winter because he's from the
Tuberville?
South. Yeah, he would come in there wearing the biggest coat you could ever imagine.
He was
and
collecting
just the look on
paychecks.
his face, he was so miserable coming into that building in the winter.
Oh, T.Y. Carr's 9. I know who you are, man. All right, welcome, Clutch. Yeah, he posts on.
Yeah, thanks for joining.
247. I guess he posts on Rivals.
Subscribe
too.
button.
Yeah. Where was I going with that? Oh, Cincinnati. While they may be impatient and fire him after 1 year, it could be because of the run they've had with coaches. It could just be that they say, you know what, we're not going to lower our standard. We see where this is going. I don't know what their buyout is. Of course, I know they helped us pay off. You know, they had to pay us. So
Let's do a quick Google search to find out.
Especially since they're in a big conference now, man. They don't want to fall behind, you know, and become a doormat. So, yeah, I can't imagine they'd give him if he sucks again next year. He's definitely gone.
So you guys want to hear a funny Satterfield story about Cincinnati? I know one of us in the Discord. I'm not going to single out who it was unless they want to speak up, which they may or may not be on here right now. Oh, there's a big return. Good grief, Georgia Tech. You guys suck. Anyway, piss me off. Anyway, they got wind that Scott Saturday that Cincinnati's AD had reached out to us to talk to Scott Satterfield, and that was something that was shared in our Discord, and we all dismissed it. Because we all thought,
I remember that.
You remember, we all thought it was absolutely
dope.
insane. We were like, well, there's no way, you know, we're just gonna like, I don't know. It just seemed too unbelievable. Like they don't really want him as their coach, and like we're not just gonna like we all thought he was gonna get extended because he won 7 games.
I found his buyout. Prior to 12/31/24, it is $8 million.
Jeez. Well, anyway. So we all thought, like, we didn't think anything more of it. I remember somebody said, hey, Cincinnati reached out about Scott Satterfield, and they said it about 4 or 5 days before he was hired, and we all just kind of laughed it off. And then what do you know? Like 4 or 5 days later, he's their coach. So it was that was pretty wild.
I will say, I think in my sports fandom, when you talk about coaching changes,
Good Lord.
I think the Scott Satterfield
God.
day going to, and that sucked. I saw it. The Scott Satterfield going
Man,
to
so good. He's a
Scott
monster.
Satterfield going to Cincinnati
How did they lose to Virginia?
is probably the weirdest feeling I've ever had of my coach leaving, because it wasn't. And listen, I know Scott sucked here, but it wasn't the gosh bless, this is the best thing that ever happened to me when it happened. But it also wasn't like gosh, this sucks thing. Usually when a coach leaves your program, you're either this is awesome or this sucks. And that day I just was like, this is weird.
Yeah, I didn't know what to think. Some
I
people
remember-
were pumped, but I was worried about that recruiting class. I
Me
thought it
too.
was done.
Me
I thought
too.
it
I
was completely
remember
gonna
waking
implode.
up that morning with a text that just said Satterfield, and I was like, "What the hell's going on?" And then I
Oh, it came so out of the blue, man. So out of the blue.
and because I'm an hour behind you all, so it broke before I woke up. And I was like, "What's going on?" And then I look, I'm like, "Holy shit, he left!"
I had to pull over on my way to work. I just happened to look down at a stoplight, and like I saw my Discord had like a bunch of like comments, and so I was trying to, I try to keep up as the person running the server because you never know what's going to happen in there. It's always
we had finance tips last night.
It's always good. Usually, like it's not like people get into it with each other, but sometimes y'all get kind of wild in there sometimes. So I gotta like make sure it's not getting too like.
Well, we don't have those certain hours anymore, so you don't have to.
Yeah, Pat.
Well,
you missed,
now you have
missed
the
after
after
hours
dark
finance
channel,
last
the
night.
sub channel, so
that's
that's
a
good.
shame,
So
man.
people can post their after dark stuff there. But for a while, it was getting. So I get on there and I'm like, something's went down because I've got like 100 something messages to sift through in the last like 10 minutes, and it was that. So then I had to pull over on the side of the road just to see what in the world, like, is this even true? Then I realized I think Pete Thamel was the one that broke it. So I was like, okay, is it the real Pete Thamel? Is it a fake Pete Thamel? You got to go through.
That's how I found out because Ross Dellinger texted me. I was like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "There's no way he left."
Well, if he texted you, then yeah.
That was
Ross
that was the-
Dellinger.
that was the text I woke up to. I was like, "What are you talking about?" And then I got in Discord,
It's
and then I got on
name
Twitter. I was
drop
like,
over here.
"Holy shit, he left!"
Crazy times.
Well, and I couldn't get on. I had a lot going on at work that day, and I normally work remote, but I had to go in office that day because we had a lot of stuff going on, like back-to-back meetings all day. So I didn't even check the Discord until way late in the day. And all of a sudden, I
Oh my God, you know, like 2,000 messages.
I mean, yeah, it was way late in the day, and
It's
so
too
like I
late for
still
you to
didn't
even
even know.
process it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy shit, what did I miss? Like,
Yeah.
it was crazy how out of the loop I was. That day.
I actually got the news from Beth. So
Come on, man. She would be a UK fan. So. Not bad.
She's a
Not
close
bad.
family
Beth
friend.
Satterfield catching strays on her podcast. Come on, man.
And then we do have we
Oh,
would be
no.
remiss if we didn't say congrats to Trent on his wedding.
Yes, congratulations, Trent, on getting married.
yeah, I hope they fixed your suit, Trent, at Men's Warehouse.
And never mind. I wanted to talk about something somebody said in the Discord about the first night of a wedding, but I'm not going to go there because he said there's nobody. He's crazy, man. That's not true. I'm not even going to get into it.
Oh shit.
He's lost his mind. Anyway, yeah, that's the thing. Georgia Tech can keep scoring, but
They got to get a stop. They got to get a
how you
stop.
stop Luke May or Luke May?
Luke
Listen
May,
to me.
Drake May,
Luke
whoever.
May.
Luke May.
Drake May. Might as well. be
They're
Luke May.
related, right?
Might as
Sean
well be
May.
Luke May because he
They're
keeps
brothers.
scoring.
Yeah.
They both score a lot of points.
Hey, man, I will for all.
Luke
Luke
May's
is
the
the
GOAT.
Luke is the
I'll
man.
be forever
Listen.
grateful
You're the man,
for Luke
Luke.
May.
Yeah. Luke is the man.
Man.
Good
That
God.
saves me a lot of heartache that
Here's the-
season.
man, North Carolina's defense is not good. I will say
fell,
that.
He
They
fell
are
at the
not
line
good.
of scrimmage and still got 5 yards.
Now, here's a question, and this isn't going to happen. Hypothetically, I would much rather play North Carolina and Florida State But look, he's gonna go for 6.
Go.
He's in there.
He's gone.
Touchdown, Georgia Tech.
Oh, we barely made it.
Who is that? That's not Cooley, is it?
Is it Cooley?
No.
Or is it Hassan? Which one? They're both there.
Oh, they're both there.
That's right. I forgot about Hassan Hall being there.
That might have been
Dante
Cooley.
Smith.
Oh.
So what's the score of that game now?
It is
They're gonna be down 3 again. But they gotta get
42-38.
They gotta get a stop, man.
10 minutes.
I would consider onside kicking it. I really would, because you're not stopping him.
42-38, 10 minutes.
I don't think they'd be ready for it at all.
10 minutes, that's a lot of time.
Oh, they're gonna roll him short.
No, that's a touchdown. He's in the air. That's
his elbow hit. Watch.
Yeah, but the ball just has to break the front of the plane. It's a touchdown.
I don't think they'll overturn it.
Just
Here's what I'll say.
I think he's in.
Here's what I'll say. They would have to have overwhelming, indisputable evidence to overturn it. So I think it'll stick. But I actually think he was like a half-inch short. Story of our lives, right? Oh, they're gonna show up from overhead. This has been a really good game. No, you can't overturn that.
Clutch is right. Hassan doesn't play Hassan doesn't play college football anymore.
Yeah, it's been a while.
He graduated last year, didn't he?
Yeah.
Or he exhausted eligibility.
He plays in the American Football League.
That stands good. Touchdown. Now, guys.
Kick the extra point.
There he is.
Onside kick it.
He's in the chat.
Who?
Welcome,
Drake
Trent.
May?
Trent, it's your wedding night.
It's your wedding day. What are you doing?
What are you doing
bro?
in here? Go. Your wife's already serving papers. My God. She's already got the papers written up,
We
man.
need to boot them, man.
You can't start your marriage
Can
on the third banner.
Can we drop the link for him? Drop the link.
Oh shit.
Louisville Cards asked if he got laid yet. Well, according to somebody in Discord, that they're adamant that nobody's ever had sex on their wedding night because they're too tired.
Drop the link for Trent. See if he joins.
That is his opinion. I'll just leave it at that. And all right. He's adamant that nobody's ever done that, and they're lying if they say they have. So. He's on here. Hold up. Oh, bring him on. Hey, congratulations!
What up, boy?
Hey,
two
top 25.
I am intoxicated. I haven't seen anything. Did we win?
Yes, we won. We shut him out.
3-0, buddy.
We shut him out.
Did we win?
23-0. We shut him out.
Yeah.
What we shut him out by?
23.
Let's fucking go. Hey. Did we beat them with the run game?
Yes.
Yes. Did we stop the run game for them?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I had no point.
That's all we had to do. Look, I'm overly intoxicated. I'm a married fucking man now. I love all of you equally except for Connor. There's a different kind of love there. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
I'm happy to be here.
That's what that bag's for. It's for Trent and Connor.
No listener after being on the live is going to get to the 2-hour mark, but I wish they would. I really wish they would.
God damn it. Hey. Go Cards, right?
Trent.
Hey.
Georgia Tech's down.
Exactly.
We've had two members.
So who's the MVP today? Was it y'all?
Yes, 100%.
163 yards, career high.
It was the D-line. That was the MVP.
I'm going to let you guys down and let you know that I can't fucking read right now.
Hey, just so you need a laugh, Satterfield's down 24 points.
Hey.
What's up, Connor?
Hey, we've had 2 Discord weddings.
Someone's talking, but I can't tell who's talking.
We've had 2 weddings, top 25 team matchups. We won them both.
We're undefeated.
So people in Discord need to keep getting married during big games. Yep. Who's getting married in the UK game? Do I need to renew my wedding vows? I'm thinking about it. thinking about
Trent, you
it.
want to get
I'm,
married
I'm
again?
just happy to do my part.
Yeah.
So did everything go smoothly?
Did you remember to say I do?
But look, if you retire or marry me, I got you. It's 2023. Hey, everything went good. There's no rain. Everything was fine.
Good.
She didn't wake up this morning and realize that I was fat and ugly. Like, it was cool. Everything went good. You know what I mean? Like, everything went
Oh my
fine.
God, Drake May is.
God
I've
damn it.
had
onside kicked it.
way too much Angels envy and fucking Johnny Walker today.
Hey,
Hey.
it's your day, man.
How long have you been drinking?
I'll leave you with, like, go Cards, obviously. Hey. I thought as long as we could stop the run and we could get our run game going, we would win. I hope the whole line looked good today. But all I got on my mind now is making it home safely and having some fun. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Picking up what I'm putting down.
Hey, Norse Card and Discord said nobody's.
Can
ever
you
done
smell
that
what
on
I'm
the
stepping
radio.
in?
Can you?
I don't
Are you
want to smell
cooking?
it.
I
Are
don't
you
want to
cooking?
smell it, man.
I'm trying to.
I think. we
But
need to.
I hope for your
Goddamn.
sake it smells good.
Where's Ross and his perfect gray black beard when you need him?
Ross was already on here. He was driving to Cincinnati.
Ross was driving and talking on the pod.
No, he was delivering.
This is the pod episode
Am
that we
I
lose
the
whole
first
enrollment.
like highly intoxicated person on the show?
No, Connor.
No. I did that.
Is this an historical night?
Well, it's
It is a historical
but
night.
Connor came on here and actually was a member of the pod the whole time and was really drunk.
I feel
that night.
special.
But he hit it pretty good. I'll give him that.
I was very intoxicated that night.
He couldn't type, but he could talk.
Yeah, it was.
Connor when he said we're a Seville ball school now.
Oh, that was the UK game 2 years ago. That was when I told Scott I could have had a better game.
Hey, hang on. Look, hey.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice, man.
That
Hey,
looks better than mine.
we need North Carolina State
Hey.
to field goal. I don't think they will. It's a close.
Wait, North
one.
Carolina State or North Carolina? Huh?
Or
What?
North Carolina. You know what I'm saying. See, you're
Wait, are we
rubbing off on
in
me.
sole possession of second place?
Right
Yeah.
now, until North Carolina
Virginia
wins
Tech.
or loses.
We're tied for second with North Carolina, but they technically have like a tougher.
And Virginia Tech.
Kelly Dickey broke all that. We need North Carolina to lose. No good.
He shanked it. Yes.
Who does North Carolina play the rest of the year?
They're playing
Well, they might
Virginia
lose
Tech
tonight
right now,
still.
and they're only up 3.
The same team
Vermont
that played
Georgia Tech.
earlier this evening.
Clemson,
Ramblin' Wreck.
NC State.
This is going off the rails because Trent can't hear a damn thing that we're saying.
No.
Look, my phone. Like I hear myself like 8 seconds behind.
I'm about
Not
to
at
hear
all.
his wife
No, not
yelling
at
at him.
You sound like you're in the middle of bumfuck nowhere if you're 8 seconds behind.
I am.
He is way behind.
I'm in the fucking twilight zone right now, brother. Like,
Dude,
Are
it's
you crossfaded or just drunk?
I'm telling you right now. If I didn't know any better, I think I was skinny. Like, fuck. No, I told him no edibles, no smoking tonight, boys. I'm just drunk as shit. I couldn't get crossfaded on my wedding night.
Behind. Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
Drunk as fuck. I done cried tonight. Look, I'm either two kinds of drunk, bro. I'm either like the come fight me drunk because I'm a big guy, or I'm like, hey, I'm your brother kind of drunk. And fuck, I think I made like everybody know I'm their brother tonight. I ain't fighting nobody tonight, so we're good.
Did you
We're
slow
good.
dance with any
Jason
dudes?
We're good.
jumped into Trent.
Connor, if you were here, I would have slow danced
He's
with
not
you.
on here
Oh, Jesus.
intoxicated after his wedding, so he
I
wanted to
slow
join
danced
us.
with one of my friends
So
after
here he
his
is.
wedding.
Yeah,
Fuck.
we've got 15 listeners right now, but
I'm just
kinda wondering if they-
I'm just here for the
kinda wonder if
memes.
They all just didn't fall asleep, and they're just
Oh, wait, I got.
Oh, he's drinking water. He's
Yeah,
so
you wanna
good.
know that.
There you go, man. Hey, the
Hydrate.
hangover will
Hey,
be a
third.
lot less if you drink water tonight.
Third,
What's up?
I'm every time we have a game, me and you think differently, and we just gotta keep that shit up.
Hey, I said this was. I was not worried one bit about tonight or today.
Well, I'll let you know ahead of time. I feel good in every game left on the season.
So you
That's what I
better be
said.
nervous
Yeah.
for the rest of the
I
year.
do,
I didn't
except
feel
for
too bad.
Miami.
I feel good about every game except for Virginia Tech and Miami.
Hey,
Well, that's
hey,
half of our season, Trent. You're like, I feel good about every game except half of them.
Except for these 40% of our schedule.
that would be 50%. We only got 4 games left.
Yeah.
Connor, I can't fucking blame Ty. Where the fuck is Ty? He's probably watching the Knicks lose. I don't know.
The
Oh,
Knicks only
damn,
scored
Pat, I
86
just saw
points today.
I have
saw
a Shelby
Cavs lost.
County education. All right.
I saw the Cavs lost by
Hey
12.
Trent, do you
Pat.
want to know the score
Hey,
that you
Trent,
bet
the
against?
Pacers beat my Cavs, so you got that going.
Yeah,
for
well,
your
the
damn
Cavs,
betting night.
the Cavs had a
Hey,
G League team playing tonight.
Oh, I just
Nope.
watched the. Wait. I just saw Tennessee beat Kentucky by like 5 points.
Go,
Yeah.
go, go, go,
Go.
Now wait,
Come on.
the Pacers won.
Yes.
The Pacers beat the Cavs G
Hey.
League team.
Boys, we are. Hey, can we make a pact? We're staying on here until we know North Carolina
Sorry, third.
loses.
Do you need to kick me off to keep the show going?
Nope.
No, go,
It's
Georgia
fine.
Tech.
Do
Go,
whatever you
go,
want,
first
man.
down.
It's your wedding night. I think anybody's listening to this time.
Dude, I'll be honest. I've been relegated to the back room. I was supposed to get dressed and like get myself shit cleaned up while they clean up everything else. And I said, "Fuck it." I know the Third Banner pod's on.
Yeah, we're on.
That's right, man.
That's right.
I just hop on the pod.
Let me
I
tell
know
you.
my homies are podding right now.
Let me tell you. Nobody that's going to church tomorrow is still listening. So
I
It's
think
only
all
10 o'clock
15
here,
people
baby.
are listening are like asleep. And they just left their phone. They fell asleep.
I should have had my phone taken away from me hours ago. But
Did
yet
you
here I
have
am.
drunk text like Mark the other night?
Man, yeah, I saw that, Ray. About I don't know. I hope they're not faking the injury. I never want to assume they are, but anytime you start marching like that, you gotta wonder.
The Diamondbacks won 9-1.
Dude,
So, hey,
Georgia
third,
Tech has 210 rush yards in the fourth quarter alone.
third, when are we having this cookout?
Oh, go, touchdown, Georgia Tech. Oh, son of a bitch.
Jinxed it.
Son of a bitch.
Who are you guys watching right now?
Georgia
Georgia
Tech,
Tech, North Carolina.
Georgia Tech.
We need North Carolina to lose.
about to maybe.
about to score
take
I
the
would
lead, maybe
nut if we held sole possession in second place.
Save that for your wedding night. So don't save that for her.
We don't need to hear about
Did Riley Leonard play today?
Yes, he
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
And we beat
Did
his
we
mother.
smack that ass?
He looked
We were in the
completely
backfield
healthy,
all
too.
day.
Yeah, Ashton
Our
Gelati
defensive
slamming
line was
some
in the
bodies.
backfield the whole game.
Hey, Trent, do you want to know what he threw for today?
Connor jinxed it. They're not even going to score now.
It makes me very happy. What's up?
He was 9 of 23 passing today.
Who the fuck is talking to me right now?
Crap.
Leonard was?
Third and goal at the 5.
See?
I don't think they're gonna
Riley
get
Leonard
there.
was 9 of 23 passing for like 120 yards.
That's rough. Hey, what did my boy Plummer do?
He was
11
good.
Just hand the
serviceable.
ball off, baby.
Yeah,
He was
What did
home
Plummer
jack.
do today?
He handed the
He
ball.
handed the
No
ball off.
interceptions. No
He
fumbles.
handed the ball
No
off. Really
touchdown.
fucking good job today.
Throw it, Hayes King. Throw it, you son of a bitch. Did he score? No fucking way.
He managed the game,
No
right?
fucking way. No fucking way.
Can I be honest with you guys?
Hold up. I'm just watching this. I'm like hoping he scored.
Hold on. Touchdown, Georgia Tech. Touchdown, Georgia
I'm
Tech.
intoxicated.
Touchdown, Georgia
What are we
Tech.
cheering for?
Touchdown.
Georgia Tech scored.
North Carolina's losing.
Georgia
Look at
Tech
this
beat North
crowd.
Carolina?
This
Georgia
crowd,
Tech.
bro, this crowd's wild.
Hey, have you guys ever had have you guys ever had Bakers?
Have what?
Makers? Yes.
Makers.
And then have you ever had Weller? Is
Bakers?
that what I have today? Fuck, I don't know. I had
Weller's my
expensive
favorite
beer
burger,
and alcohol today, and I drank too much.
He got
He
his
caught
foot
it.
down. That's a
good.
catch.
That's a catch.
Hey, but as
Wow.
long as you'll have me, I'll
That's
keep my drunk ass here to entertain you guys. I don't mind.
You're good.
You're welcome as long
Hey,
as you
man,
want.
We're just
man.
watching. Honestly, I'm gonna stick on here till the end of this game.
We just want to see what the end of this game looks like. So
Hey, pat that ass.
What up?
You look nice today.
Oh man, thanks, man. I'm in my PJs basically, man.
I appreciate what you've done today.
He got that.
Stop it.
Speaking of appreciation, I appreciate those of you that have stuck with us this whole time and are just
Yeah.
hanging out with us.
I busted my fat ass on the dance floor earlier
I would
too.
say like and subscribe. Honestly, if you've been hanging out with
Yeah,
us this
get those
long,
work
and you
off
have
those
not liked and
calories.
Hey, is
subscribed,
Neil
all,
still in
all
the
that
chat?
drinking.
I don't see Neil. I think Neil had enough of us.
How many people are in here looking at my dumb ass?
16 it
16.
says. That's not too bad.
16.
Sometimes it gets up to
Neil's
50.
fucking a blow up doll right now. Tell me he's not.
We're gonna have to mark the question that says, "Is this video for kids?"
Neil's watching midget porn right now. Tell me he's not.
You just lost two people jumped off as soon as he said that too.
The third banner part just turned into
I bet
Howard
it's
Stern
parents that heard
radio.
it and they're like, my kid's sitting here watching these idiots.
Some guy was watching it in front of his wife, and she was like, "You gotta turn that
I mean,
off."
Kyle, you're about to add 20 followers or lose 20. I don't know which of it.
Well, you
I'm here
lost
for the
two
ride.
since you talked about the midget porn.
Clutch
so.
said the third banner pod after dark.
We've got
God, this is how it gets sometimes. Not, I mean, in the
Third
Discord.
banner after dark.
Oh my.
Clutch, you have no idea. It's been 100% worse.
This is it's.
Could you imagine if we lost today? It would just be doom and gloom, like
Oh, we'd have been off of here so long
fuck
ago.
Jack Plummer.
Dude, hey, I learned after a pig game when we lost and we did our post game, like nobody wanted to even watch. They were so mad.
Well, except for Neil's midget, she was in here watching.
That's a touchdown. Just call it a touchdown and let's go.
Y'all ever just yearn for Luke Kandra to come back? Or is it just me?
I'm getting a little nervous that they're taking so long to review this. There's not much to see. He caught it.
Well, you know the ACC.
Dog, they just closed the doors on my dumb ass.
Bow is down. That's a touchdown.
Touchdown.
Yeah.
Touchdown.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Touchdown.
Wreck 'em.
Come on, boys. We got to will this
Kick
thing
the
home.
extra point. Do not go for two.
No, I don't think.
Wait a second. Wait. Have we talked about basketball yet?
We did.
No,
Play
we're
on
not
Monday.
doing that. That's where I'll kick you off.
We did.
I don't
Hey,
care if it's your wedding night.
I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that.
Hey, Trent, do we win on Monday? Yes or no?
Connor,
I wouldn't do that. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that.
let's keep watching this game. How about that?
Who do we play on Monday?
Kentucky Wesleyan.
Jeez. As long as it's a good, as long as it's a good, fair played game, not a lot of fouls, it's okay if we tie, right?
That's what I think you just said. I got to edit that out. Oh.
I should have had my phone taken away long ago.
Oh my!
How's life, Kyle?
Well, it was fine. I'm never using the bathroom again with you on here.
Well, no, intoxicated me and not intoxicated me are vastly different. When I'm not intoxicated, I just say ignorant things about sports. It might cut you off like Ross would.
We're gonna have to have the disclaimer. What Trent says is not the views of the at Third Banner Pod.
And he's also highly intoxicated.
Hey, like and subscribe. It means a lot for the algorithm, all right?
I'm crying over here, just so you know.
Oh my.
You know,
Here's the thing: I have to edit that out, but it takes like 48 hours.
God damn it. Where's Tyler? You know?
Oh man!
You don't have to edit anything
Listen,
out. I didn't say
Everybody
anything
gets watched 2
derogatory.
hours into the
Nothing
show.
nobody already knows, you know.
Well, I guess I
Mark
came
was-
at the tail end, so that might be true. But I think I know what was said.
Welcome, Uriah. I don't think I've seen you on that.
Dude, Drake May is killing these guys.
If Mark was on the pod tonight because of Trent's comments, Jordy would fire him.
I haven't seen Big Mike in the chat tonight yet either.
I think Mark is on there. There he is.
Mike.
He's a big Cardinal fan. That's Mark.
No, I said Mike.
Oh, Mike.
Ray wants to join. Ray wants to get on the pod.
You gotta take me off. It's not. You gotta take me off. It's okay.
Well, hey, Trent, seriously, congratulations, brother. You probably need to hang out with your wife anyway, man. Go Cards. Hey, when you rewatch, you'll be impressed, man. We'll see you out. See you later, man.
Thank you. You're back some shit. Have a good night.
You too. Oh my. I don't even want to know. I think I know what I missed, but I don't think I
can
know.
go back and watch it.
You don't want to know. Just
Well, I think I know what he said.
Just know that Maven's midnight show tomorrow night is going to be hating on us.
Well, no, I'll delete. I mean, it's not. Hey, listen. None of the people on the pod said it. Trent got on here because he got married. He's just drunk. He's not on our show. So
it's a guest.
You know, it's a guest. You never know what a guest is going to say.
Sack him. Damn it. Fuck.
Dude, he is so good.
God, man, how did he catch
Here's
that?
Ray.
Wait, holding.
What's up, boys? Dude,
I'm surprised you didn't wear a Southern Miss helmet.
Man, that's a nice helmet.
Hey, what's the flag? What's the flag?
Wait, is it on North Carolina?
It's on North Carolina.
Are you watching the North Carolina game, Ray?
Yes. I'm muting my mic in between because I don't want to echo. Hopefully, I'm not echoing.
No,
You're
fine.
You're not echoing.
Oh.
After what Trent just did on here, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah,
It doesn't even matter.
What happened in the North Carolina game? Did I miss something?
Holding. Offense. 10-yard penalty. Replay third down. It is third down, UNC.
Come on,
Please,
Yellow
please.
Jackets.
Look, we're dropping 8. That's another hold, ref. Fuck. He dropped it. He dropped it. Fumble.
That's a fumble.
Fumble.
That's a fumble.
That's Georgia Tech football.
That's a fumble.
Please be a fumble.
They're going to try to overturn it. You watch.
Come on.
That's to me, that's a fumble because I thought he was
fumble.
He took like 2 steps.
Yeah, he definitely caught the ball.
God,
Dude, these Georgia Tech fans are killing me. They're kind of.
And he's hurt. Oh, that's Tez.
Well, you don't like to see that.
That's their best receiver too.
Hopefully, he's
He
all
must
right.
have got rocked. He must have got absolutely rocked. We're just gonna stay on here till the end, boys.
Yes,
That's
indeed.
That should have been a hold on the left tackle.
Hey, I appreciate y'all.
Oh, that's
letting me come
100%
on.
a fumble. That is
Oh, yeah.
100% a
Yeah.
fumble.
Oh yeah, that's a fumble. Yeah.
No, I'm glad he didn't say that.
Yeah.
I was on.
Dude, if I'm Drake May, I'm killing him because he's playing like a perfect game.
Oh man, he got rocked
2, 3,
too.
4. Yeah, that's a fumble.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
God,
yeah, man.
seriously, that's a perfect hit. It's not
Yeah.
targeting or anything. That's perfect.
Uh-oh.
That's exactly how you
Personal football
design
play.
it right there, man.
Brent Key, please do not mess this up. Please.
How many timeouts does North Carolina have?
3.
Do they have 3?
They got all 3.
Mhm.
Basically, Georgia Tech has to get a touchdown here. They
Yeah.
have to. I mean, if you get a field goal, they can tie it at worst.
Yeah,
Do you really want to go in overtime with Drake May? I don't.
From the 25-yard line? Hell
He's
no.
been throwing 25-yard bombs all night. He'll just throw a touchdown every time.
Or they
he's
could
at
just run out the
25-yard
clock.
line.
Yeah,
Aren't
they
they
could
aren't
definitely.
Yeah.
they ahead?
Hand it
get a
off to
couple
Cooley,
first
baby.
downs.
Tech's ahead, but they got 3 timeouts. I don't think you're gonna be able to run the clock out.
Hand it off to Cooley.
I don't know though, man. They've completely dominated in the run game this quarter.
Colorado lost by 12.
Oh man, that's a really bad injury, man. That's sad to see.
I don't even know what
I hate
happened.
seeing
I thought he just got hit.
Trent in the Discord. Oh, you all are on the pod. Oh, stop it.
Trent,
And then
congratulations,
UL Card's
my man.
obviously not watching us and supporting his fellow Cardinal fans.
Who?
UL Cards saying, I thought you got married today. Well, if he was watching the pod, he would have known.
Oh, well, not everybody. I don't know. He's
I'm just
probably sitting there
messing.
watching the game, but I
I'm
don't.
just messing.
Yeah.
Other Neil just said a UNC loss makes things very interesting.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah. Well, this might be a bad injury.
I thought he just got
really
hit.
bad
Like,
injury.
He's not. Well, he's
He's
moving.
moving.
He's moving.
this might deflate North Carolina too.
Not that it's about this, but it gives their defense time to rest. No, I'm not saying it's that they did that on purpose. I'm just saying like their defense is gassed trying to catch those running backs. You
I
just
have
hope
it
the
on
kid's
mute.
all
Did
right.
they say who it was yet?
The receiver.
No shit.
Numbers
Well,
zero.
I don't know. I don't know either players, Connor.
I think it's Tez. I think. Yep, that's
I
exactly.
know Drake May, and that's it. Because he's beat.
Yep. Yeah, it does.
That's the kid that the attorney general tried to sue the NCAA over.
Really? Oh, I remember hearing about that.
Oh, that's the. Oh my gosh! No kidding.
That's their best receiver.
Yeah.
Like by far.
So, Ray, what'd you think about the game tonight while we have you on?
Man, it's a good day to be a Cardinal. Let me tell you.
Pat. So I just saw Pat Forty's tweet from the beginning of the fourth quarter. It said the
He
Louisville
has to
offensive
guess
line.
his opinion, and Connor jumps right in.
What?
It's all good. It's
No,
all
it's
good.
it's about Louisville and our offensive linemen. The Louisville offensive linemen are air drumming in unison to psych up to the psych up music between the third and fourth quarters of home games is one of the better new traditions in the sport. Cardinals are thumping Duke 23-0. I think that's the first nice thing that Pat Forty's ever said about us.
Not a big Pat
Been a
Forty
while.
fan.
Been a while. No, it was. Let me tell y'all, it's a great day to be a Cardinal. That was a good win for us, man. Really was. Jaws, man, that's a beast right there. Just a beast.
He's
Man,
one of the
it's
best
just a
running backs
statement.
in the nation, man.
He probably, honestly, man, this is a very biased opinion. I think he is the best running back in the country.
I mean, there's only one or two that can even come join.
Hell, the kid from
yeah.
Troy has like 1,200 yards.
Yeah. Yeah. What year is Jaws? Is he a senior? Is this his last year?
He's
or
a junior. He has one more year.
I don't
junior?
think he'll be back, but love to have him.
Running backs can't take all that wear. They need to
What
go
is
when
he,
they can.
23 now, Draws?
All right, boys. The game's back on. We need Georgia
Oh.
Tech to close it up.
Well, you know, I think since Southern Miss is terrible, I think Frank
Yeah, how
Gore
was
Jr.
that game, buddy?
Huh?
How was that game, buddy?
Oh man, I tell you what, man, it was a roller coaster. You know what? Whatever. I think Frank Gore Jr. should come to Louisville.
Good God, if Frank Gore Jr. replaces Jaws,
I'm on to something here, am I?
oh my God.
Dude
I was-
looked good. He looked good today.
He had a 75-yard touchdown today.
Exactly. My point.
He had 250 today, didn't he? At least.
Yeah, I mean, at least. I mean, he carries that freaking team. He carries the team.
He's carried
He
the
did
team for
last
the last
year.
3 years.
Yep, exactly. I really think that would be very beneficial for himself too. If he wants to make it into
Sorry,
that.
Frank Gore only had 247. I was close.
Oh, only gotcha. Yeah, he should definitely join Louisville next year. Just putting that out there.
This is in no way of any way of me saying that Frank Gore needs to enter the portal.
Go.
Oh.
Give me a late hit.
That's a bad spot. Good
That's
grief.
a horrible spot.
Oh.
That's a whole almost yard back.
Oh,
Yeah.
it really is.
Terrible. Tush push. Do it.
I don't think he got it, but I think he was like
I think he's half a yard short, not
half
a
a
yard
yard
and a half.
short.
He's about a half a yard short. Yeah.
Watch where the ball lands. Well,
Yeah,
you
man.
know what, his knee might have hit
his
down.
knee.
It
Yeah.
actually might be a good. Well, I still think it's a little further back.
Oh my god. Shit.
Glad we could have Trent join us tonight.
Y'all, this has been fun, man. This has been.
Are we
a lot of
starting the
fun.
Cam Rising rumors? Is that what we're doing now?
Mark is. Hey, I wonder if Jordy ended up coming into work to talk to Mark this morning
About his financial decisions.
Oh man.
Run the
He's a
damn
good
ball.
mentor, that Jordy, man.
Yeah, I met Jordy. Seems like a good guy. Jordan.
First down, Georgia
I would
Tech.
call him Jordy because that's his name in the chat.
Right. Yeah, I know. I do too, because it's like your name's Jordan, but your name's Jordy on there. It's almost kind of like hard to call you.
Well, it seems
Jordan.
like that could be
This
a
is too
nickname
close.
or something.
It probably is.
That's when you put Cooley in there and just let him run the kid over.
Yeah, hey, Clutch said to tell Ruben Owens to ship his TV back here. I know. I'm with you, man. How can you not watch what
He
Jawar
scored
Jordan
today
did?
too.
That's fine. It's the first score. He could be more like Jawar and score 2 or 3 touchdowns a game here.
1,000%.
Come on, Georgia Tech.
We need one more first down, boys.
Need one more first down. That's the ball game.
I am the biggest Haynes Keen fan in the country right now.
There you go. You'll take about 4 or 5 yards there.
I'm afraid if Luke May has any more than 15 seconds.
Oh, KSR's going on in 1 minute. If you all want to listen to that when this game,
I don't care about.
I don't want to
KSR.
listen to that.
No, don't care. What's
find?
I can't believe this dude's still coaching.
Dude,
I can't
Mac
believe
Brown's
he's
like
still
80
alive.
fucking years old.
Yeah.
How old's Mac Brown?
He's like 80. He's old.
Yeah,
He is. I mean, he
He's
is way up there. He was coaching Texas in the mid '90s when I watched them, and I was a fan of. Not they weren't like I wasn't Louisville. Louisville's always been my
He's
team,
only-
but Texas was my second favorite football team.
He's
man.
only 72, but he's still fucking old.
I thought he was older than 72. If I'm gonna be honest, I thought he was like 76.
Yeah, he looks like he's 80.
I mean, Nick Saban's 71. Nick Saban sure as hell don't look like 71.
I can't picture Nick Saban retiring. I just can't picture
Anytime.
him sitting at home
He's
playing
not
bingo.
retired.
I can't picture him getting to McDonald's at 6 a.m. to drink black coffee and read the newspaper with all the
Can you
other
imagine him on
retirees.
that?
I just can't picture it, man.
He's going to be on Pat McAfee every day when he retires.
Does he go on there a lot?
He has his
He's
own
in there
spot
once a
on
week,
Thursday.
isn't
No, I didn't know that. See, I watched the Pat McAfee one, like segments of it, but I don't actually watch the.
Come on,
whole
Haynes
show.
King.
Oh,
man.
That's a shitty spot if you don't give it to him.
well, I don't
Man,
think he got first down.
Maybe Dane Key. I don't know who the hell he's talking about.
No, he's not talking about Dan Key. He already elaborated on that, and I don't think. Look, no UK guys are ever going to transfer to Louisville unless it's like a Keontae Goodwin, which may. But look how hard it's been to even get that situation. Like they actively prevent people from like they use Louisville as leverage for NIL deals over there. They say I'm going to go over there, and that's the last place they want them going.
28 days, Michael. 28 days.
I think he was talking
4
about
weeks
DeAndre
from
Moore.
today, Mike. 4 weeks
I
from
think he was
today.
talking about DeAndre Moore, but I have no insight. That's a guess. I think that's who he was talking about.
JoJo, maybe.
Dude, I'd be pumped.
No, it was
talking about
I
Mike.
asked Phil about JoJo, and he had already talked about JoJo before that. So no. Who knows? It's probably someone we'll never know. We'll probably never know. It's one of those weird things. You get these kind of rumors, and it's like you just never know who it was. But
Whew. I'm nervous, boys.
Oklahoma State 45, Cincinnati 13.
Dude, he might get fired. He might get canned.
He might. He's going to go back to Boone, North Carolina next year.
Georgia
boys.
Tech. Why are your fans cheering when you're on offense? Calm down.
I agree.
I did the same thing. Like during the Notre Dame game, when people around me were like yelling and shit when we were on offense, I was like,
"Oh yeah," you were like, "Shut the up."
Yeah, you were the row in front of me. I was like, "Shut the fuck up, guys!" Like
dude, that was a fun one, man. That was a fun one. And it's crazy. My girlfriend Haley, she had been to an Eastern Kentucky game a couple years.
Eastern Kentucky, yeah. Okay.
And
First down, Georgia
like,
Tech. Let's fucking go.
Let's
game
yes,
over.
Sir!
Take a knee.
Sir!
Take a knee.
Here you go.
Don't pull Miami right here.
Bravo.
Of course, Miami
Buzz,
did that
Buzz.
against Georgia Tech, so you'd think they wouldn't turn around and do the same.
So since he plays UCF next week, Houston, West Virginia, and Kansas.
Boys, we are in sole possession of second place of the ACC.
Woo! So next week is literally like,
Aren't we, or is Miami? Miami has 2 losses,
They
right?
got two losses.
Yeah, North
Virginia
Carolina
Tech
and
only
North
has 1 loss.
So it's us and Virginia Tech.
Virginia
Whoever
Tech.
wins that is sole possession of second place.
Oh, Virginia
Oh
Tech.
my
But
gosh.
hey, we're well ahead of them as far as we're ahead of them if we tied.
Yeah.
All right.
Hell yes.
This is awesome.
Hell yeah, Virginia Tech.
And it's at home though. Like that's what makes this game even better against Virginia Tech. It's at home.
Well, here's the
like,
thing.
they're at home.
North Carolina ends with Duke, NC State, and Clemson. And I know they have to go to Clemson. So I feel pretty good right now. They might drop another one.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, after this game, we're not worried about North Carolina anymore.
We just need to win out. With that being said, guys, I know my wife's like, where are you at? Because I hear Callie up there crying. Still, here it is, 11:30. She's still up. She's still crying.
That's a shitty field storm. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
That's pretty bad.
That's all right. They can do whatever they want after that. But anyway,
Yep.
guys, I appreciate everybody that's been on here tonight, including Trent. Congratulations on your wedding. Thanks for joining us, Ray. We'll go ahead and exit with you on here, I guess.
Yeah.
Since you're still
All right,
here.
guys.
Hey,
We will talk
appreciate
about
you
later.
guys.
All
Go
right.
Cards. And for Ross, go Krogering.
Go Cards.
There you go. See you guys.